So we got everybody.
Yes.
And I guess that leaves us with, well, where did we leave off?
Let's see. It was Thursday night. I went to talk to Pastor Brown. These guys on Thursday rode all the way to Oxford and then
Oh,
killed some
yes.
people.
I remember running
That's
through the back alleys of Oxford covered in
Yes,
blood.
yes,
Yep.
because
Oh,
of the
yeah.
explodey head right next to him, well, the man
Yeah.
he had
Hmm.
captured, and they are hiding in the woods. And you made mention at the end of last session they were going to start to make their way back towards London.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, I'm in London while they're having a grand old time, and I just went and talked to Father Brown, Reverend
Because
Brown, and that man is crazy. And now I'm gonna have to go to church tomorrow night, and I got no backup because they're out on holiday apparently.
well, I think it's going to be morning before you guys can even figure out where you are,
They're
because it
also
was really a case of mad flight.
they're also
You know,
saddle
get away
sore as hell.
from humans. Yeah. So eventually, I suspect what's going to happen is exhaustion is going to take its toll. You're going to end up just basically, essentially, primitive camping, by which I mean collapsing in a soft spot in the forest and sleeping for a while, and then wake up to figure out where the hell you actually are, which could be tricky.
where is.
Also, you,
Okay. Yeah, I was looking for navigate, and yeah,
yeah.
all right.
So that's for you guys. That's the place to start. A navigate roll. The success here will tell you right away where you are. Otherwise, you're going to be putzing around for a bit trying to find a landmark.
Just point of reference, they're also carrying around all those boxes full of Blythe's
I know.
notes
Mhm.
and some very very expensive books.
Yep.
As well as Dr. Blythe, yes?
Yep. Yeah. Who came with because he was the one they wanted to murder. He wasn't sticking
Hmm.
around. Although he's debating whether he should try to backtrack to Oxford before they raise the alarm. Because Mr. Edwards, director, is going to search the house, and when he realizes that Dr. Blythe is gone, he's going to raise an alarm, grab the constabulary, start a search. I mean, that's what he expects Edwards is going to do. And given the last thing you guys might want right now is a whole lot of prying eyes connecting you to a couple of dead people.
Yeah,
Um,
preferably.
on the other hand, if he does that, he's risking the fact that what if Mr. Graves and his friends are still there?
Yeah.
So problem one is you're lost. You're in a wooded area, but you're not seeing any human-made landmarks, a road, a building, something where you could reorient and figure out where you are.
Hmm.
So you could pick a direction and move and see if you see something that will reorient you. Because if you encounter a road or a town or something, you'll figure out where you are. Well, okay, if you encounter a road, you can at least figure out, follow it and it'll come to someplace. By definition, a road tends to connect two things. So you'll come to eventually someplace you can figure out. But the question of what Dr. Blythe should do remains. Once you figure out where you are, should he circle back to Oxford?
Would he
Or
be.
should he?
But there's the chance that they might try and find him again in Oxford.
That's the danger of it. We don't know where Mr. Graves and his friends are right now. Well, his other two friends are dead right now.
Hmm.
So Mr. Graves, last we checked, is still in Oxford with one of his buddies.
Should Baker head off on his own to like scout out and then just kind of disappear as Josh isn't here tonight?
That's up to you. I mean, that's certainly valid. Or you could divide up with Baker and going with Dr. Blythe.
That
Yeah.
might be the way forward, having Baker go with Blythe to make sure that the uh, priceless texts that he carries are returned safely to the library.
Yeah.
Uh,
And there's
is
also
important.
that the library, Blythe is also fully aware that his days at the university are probably numbered if those texts don't come back.
Mhm.
Especially the copy of the Book of Enoch, which, after all, he had taken, and the librarians know he has. If that
Okay.
disappears, that's on him.
Yeah.
When you
Yeah,
take a
I
book
think
from the
definitely-
library, it's because they trust you, and you do not violate that trust without penalty.
My Illingsworth, I'd say that you and I make our way back to London with post haste to reunite with the good doctor. Baker, if you would escort Dr. Blythe back to Oxford and straighten things out best as you can before making your way to London yourself at first opportunity. I
Okay.
think that might be
And that
the
would also
most
be a good
sensible
place for
arrangement.
Josh's character to be. How many firearms do you have?
I
I
have.
dropped mine.
Yeah, so I think
Okay.
yours was
Illingsworth
lost.
picked it up.
Oh, did he?
Illingsworth has
Oh, that's
two
right, he
guns
did.
right now.
No,
Because-
I have
two of-
3.
You have 3. Oh, that's right, because we
Illingsworth
purchased
is-
one in London together. So you have
Yeah.
a normal gun
Yeah.
and you have 2 pocket guns, or 2 of the foldable
Yeah.
guns.
Yeah.
Illingsworth
so, yeah.
is tri-wielding right now. He's got one in his teeth.
They're all shoved
you've
in
got-
his belt.
Yeah, so you didn't lose any of the foldable pistols,
Correct.
but you also bought a conventional pistol.
Yeah, that was like, I don't know, like a
Okay.
month or maybe a
It was a
couple
while
months ago,
ago, yeah.
gameplay wise.
Because it would probably, I think that best bet here is Baker is probably going to ask you to give him the other gun, so that he's got a second,
Oh, yeah, that's fine.
in case
Yeah.
Graves is still at Oxford.
Right. Yeah, that's fine.
Because it's Blythe who's the target. Blythe has a pocket pistol too. It's one of the foldable pocket pistols, which is the ones you got as a present from the chamber.
Right. Right.
Which tells you, by the way, where Blythe's loyalties lie. That he has one of those.
But so does Baker. He has one as well, doesn't he?
Yeah. The point is
Okay.
that he'd feel better with the extra one.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
one more shot in case Graves found some other friends. Also, in all fairness, I think neither of them trusts the smaller foldable pistol to stop Graves.
Mm-hmm.
They do the same
That
damage,
man
don't
is-
they? Technically?
Yeah, I think they do.
Technically, yeah, but one looks smaller and Graves
Good,
is
yeah.
large.
Yep.
Do we
I
really
like
trust the
That
smaller
man is a-
to slow that man down?
Walking fortress.
I mean, he's probably not bulletproof, right? On the other hand,
I would hope.
yeah, listen, the problem here is that he's 6'8" in any direction you care to measure.
He got a lot of hit points.
He does. He's got a large size, a large damage bonus, and carries a knife.
Get him, Edgeworth.
Yeah. That's the other thing, is we know that Graves carries a knife, and we know that he is very good at using it and perfectly willing to do so. Thus, the idea of, if it has to be, shoot him, because you don't want to get where you don't want to be close enough for him to use his knife.
Right.
That's a losing proposition for basically everybody here.
So yeah, I'll give him the regular pistol then, and
Yeah, it's a little more stopping power and a third shot in case he needs it.
give Connor back his gun, his pistol then too. So
Okay, and then you guys are going to start making your way back to London. Now, that failed navigation roll means it's going to take you hours to find a landmark.
yeah, say if anything, I would, like you said, pick a direction and head that way. So
Well, London is south and east. So essentially, find the sun, move in that direction,
right,
and keep doing so until you run into something human-made,
right.
where you can find
Should we
your way
both
in.
make a navigate check?
I
Yeah.
already failed mine.
You can
Yeah.
try navigate as well.
I'll try as well. I've got 10%. Yeah, may as well.
You'll save
Unfortunately,
several
no,
hours
that's a
if you
72.
succeed. Yeah, so it's going to be hours
That is
of
a fact.
wandering, moving south and east, best you can tell. In other words, using the sun.
Although I could push it though, couldn't I? I might try to push it.
You could. If you do that, you may find yourself circling. So,
Yeah.
upside, if you succeed, you'll shave hours off your trip. If you fail, you will add hours to your trip.
Yeah, all right. I'm not going to push it then.
Okay. This means you won't arrive back in London probably till Saturday. In other words, it'll be much of Friday moving south and east to find your way to a place where you can actually navigate. In other words, getting to a road.
Right.
And then most of Friday, today was Thursday, most of Friday traveling to arrive Saturday. So essentially, this is becoming more of a normal trip, 2.5 days.
They won't get
Rather
there
than the
till
one day you made it out on the way out.
They didn't start.
Right.
All the shit happened Thursday night.
Yeah, so Friday will be travel and location.
Okay.
Saturday will be travel. If you guys get lucky, you'll arrive Saturday night.
If not,
Otherwise,
Sunday.
it'll be Sunday morning.
Oh boy.
Yeah. And that'll also depend on how tired you are and whether you want to push to the evening. In other words,
Right.
if you travel through into the night Saturday, you'll arrive back in London Saturday. If you stop when it starts getting dark, you'll arrive Sunday. So that really comes down to whether you want to keep traveling and how tired you are. Short answer, tired. You pushed it on the way here.
Right.
You really haven't had a chance to rest much, and a few hours sleep in a forest isn't great rest. That was really unconsciousness from fatigue rather than rest in a proper sense. Not to mention a decent meal wouldn't hurt.
I'd say, and I also think there would also be like adrenaline, like
Yeah.
my adrenaline had left his body as well. So
Yeah, and once that wears off, the fatigue is going to kick.
Mm-hmm.
The other thing is a good meal would do you good. And it won't be until Friday basically in the late afternoon, where you'll finally find a road, which you'll find your way to a roadside tavern where you can actually get a meal.
Oh yeah.
Because by then it's been like 24 hours since you've eaten anything.
Mm.
So there's going to be by the time you're done eating, it's already later on Friday, and that's where the fatigue is probably going to kick in. In other words, if you want to keep going Friday for a chance to make it back Saturday, you're going to need a constitution check. Alternatively, you can just stay over Friday night and rest up.
Yeah, I think we should probably rest.
Yeah, I'm
'cause
I'm
you
not
could take
gonna
a room.
probably.
Yeah.
mhm.
In which case, take a room, eat, sleep, and then start on Saturday earlier in the day. And the nice thing about that is if you rest early, you could get started on Saturday in the early morning. And that way, if you wanted to, you might push it and arrive back in London by Saturday evening. So that rest may do
think
you
it
good
might
in the
be-
long run.
Yeah, I think it might be better. We don't want to be ruined by the time we get back to London, and we'll just simply be
Yeah.
obstacles in the way of our investigation.
Yeah, you'll be useless to anybody if you're tired as hell and haven't eaten. That's the old joke, can't pour from an empty cup. Yeah. Which brings us back to London proper, though, and Dr. Payne, who I believe has an appointment on Friday evening.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm gonna
Are
go
you
to
actually-
I'm going to the church on time. I will keep
Okay.
the pocket pistol. I can't really carry the regular pistol easily. It'll be noticed, right? Or
You
could
could
I?
stick-
And they would still be like, "Oh, that's fine. He's just defending himself."
Well, you could stick it in your belt and close your coat over it.
Let's do that. So I'm gonna have 2 pistols on me.
Yeah, the point is that one, the conventional sized firelock, isn't concealable to a normal search. In other words, anyone
Right.
who attempted to find it will.
Okay.
The pocket pistol is intended to be concealable. That takes
Gotcha.
a roll to find.
Well,
But then again,
yeah.
it's unlikely anyone's going to attempt to search you.
Right. And I'll use the main pistol if someone tries to
Yeah.
rob me or somebody. I'll use that. So
And that's the other thing is you could legitimately claim that you're in a neighborhood where robbery is a thing,
yeah.
so you're armed for your own defense. These people will probably understand that anyway. Although, actually, I suspect if you tell anyone that, their response is likely to be, "We know you here. No one's going to fuck with you here."
Yeah, but all the neighborhoods between my house and here, you guys don't control that. So
Yeah, this is true.
so
So you make
I'm
your
not
way
terribly
to-
concerned.
Make your way to the church. on
One thing,
Friday
I
night,
did
then.
send a message to the Impossible Chamber on Thursday
Yep.
with what information I had about Cameron and Collins, which wasn't all of it, because I never got the update from Brunch.
Right.
And then asking if there was a way if they could help us, if we can lure Reverend Brown away from the neighborhood. So I don't know
luring Reverend Brown away. They don't know. They have your responses. They don't know how to do that.
They already respond?
do not-
Okay.
Yeah, you get a response on Friday, the next day.
Okay, great.
As for Cameron and Collins, they don't know them.
Okay.
So they remain a bit of a wild card in this.
That's fine. My character doesn't know a lot of what's going on with them yet anyway, because...
Well, you also do know they met with the Princess de Sorbonne.
I do know that, yes.
Right.
But there's nothing in the society pages about her on Friday, right?
No.
Okay.
And the response from the chamber can actually enlighten you a bit there on that matter.
Yeah.
The Princess
I would have
de
noted they
Sorbonne
Mm-hmm.
They do know, and they do not trust her.
Oh, great. Okay.
They won't say more in this note other
That's fine.
than she's on the list of people they don't trust.
Okay.
Which means if Cameron and Collins are meeting with her, that makes them more suspect in the Chamber's eyes.
Gotcha.
They won't. They probably know a bit more, which they will not commit to writing.
No, I understand that. My message to them was pretty vague too. So
Yeah, and their response is basically
don't trust her.
Don't trust Sobine
Okay.
unless you learn more about her.
Okay.
A fair implication is don't trust her.
Okay. And then it's off to church on Friday
Yep.
night. Oh boy.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna bring my bag, my medical bag too, just in case anybody faints or needs help or shows up with a broken arm or something. I can busy myself with helping them. And I'm gonna try to brace myself for this crap.
Oh yeah. Come to think of it, there is someone who could use your help if you show up early.
Yeah, I'll get there a little early. I'll go right after supper. It's spring, so night should be a little later.
Yep. This is a young man.
Uh-huh.
They call him Tommy Blue.
Oh no. He's got a bullet wound.
Yeah.
Oh goodness! All right, yeah.
Yeah, I think we know how that happened.
Where does he find me? I'm giving money to beggars and stuff like I always do. But where does he find me? Like before I get to church, or
he does not find you.
Uh-huh.
It's as you're dealing with the poor and doing what you do. A young woman approaches you and asks if you can do something about someone who's been injured.
Oh, of course. Yes.
And
I will go with her. I'll get her name on the way if I can.
She calls herself Mary. She won't give you another name.
I don't ask.
And she leads you to an upstairs apartment where you will find Tommy Blue. Now,
Tommy.
neither of you got a good look at his face. His nickname apparently comes from his hands, which do have a bit of a bluish cast to them.
How strange.
Today we'd probably recognize that as Raynaud syndrome.
I don't know what that is. Raynaud.
It's a circulation disorder.
Okay, but I don't have any idea what it is.
Yeah, I don't think Raynaud's had been diagnosed at that point.
Probably
in other words, from your perspective, it's something. Probably the veins in his hands look weird.
Okay.
Which is where he gets his nickname from.
I will. So he's been shot. Where was he shot? I'm going to memorize his features first thing because we know he's on board with the church.
Neither he nor Mary will talk about how it happened.
I probably opened with that. It's like, oh dear, how did this happen? And he's all evasive and stuff or something.
So he's half unconscious.
Oh, okay.
He's been drinking to numb the pain.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
So you won't get any coherent answers out of him.
All right, I know who this guy is, though.
Mary is also evasive, but it's clear from her perspective she's evasive because she's afraid she might tell the law.
Is there anything that doctors have to alert the law?
Theoretically, if you find someone who's been shot, you probably should. Realistically, who's going to ever know if you don't?
Well, I mean, am I supposed to, or is it?
You
probably should, or is it this? You're by law required to.
You probably should.
All right.
No one is going to know or care if you don't.
Oh dear. Okay. I'm not going to mention this. I'm not going to say anything about the law. I'm not going to bring it up.
Yeah. What's your medicine skill?
My medicine is a 71. My bedside manner is like 10.
So you will still need a roll here.
Okay.
If you're not at 75.
Oh dear. I examined him very carefully first. It goes right through him, right?
Yeah.
The bullet went through. Where'd it hit him?
In the gut.
Oh no! Is that a regular success or is that a hard success? Gut shots.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. What did you say?
If there's infection, see what you get. If there's infection set in, there's limited things you can do for it.
Okay. 18. That is a hard, almost an extreme. I'll take the hard success.
Yeah. He's lucky. As you examine the wound, one, the bullet did not lodge.
Okay.
Which you knew that before you looked. Two, infection has not taken hold. So either he got lucky or his constitution is strong.
Excellent. There's no way to disinfect, right? We have no idea about disinfecting shit.
Yeah, infection.
All right.
Yeah, disinfection is not a thing.
So it comes
What
down to
you
stick.
can do though is yes, close the wound so that
Right.
it's not open to the air and causing him pain.
Yeah, I'll stitch
Which
it
is
up.
a matter of just working, and this is the point where speed matters.
Okay.
In other words, you get this done inside of 2 minutes.
Yep.
Yeah, for a surgeon, remember, speed is a virtue.
I'm not a
Because
surgeon, technically.
anesthetic is not a thing.
I'm a general practitioner. I will
Yeah,
also.
there's really almost no distinction at this point.
Okay. No, general practitioners are better than surgeons. Surgeons are those guys on the sailing ships that are like, oh, you got shot in the foot, chop your leg off.
Yeah.
I don't even think they had to have a degree to be considered a surgeon. I could be mistaken. I don't know.
No, you're right. You learn by apprenticeship.
Yeah.
You become a surgeon by apprenticing. Not by going to school.
That's what Toby wants. Anyway, so I'm also going to get some. Does she have anything I can use to bind this wound up? Like, I want it bound so this guy can hardly move. You know what I mean? Like real tight around the midsection. So if he goes out for any other murderings, he's going to have some difficulties.
Yeah. Well, also, if you tell him to stay put and don't get out of bed for a couple of days, he's going to listen.
A couple of days. I'm going to tell him I will be back next week to examine this wound. Don't fiddle with it. If it starts to hurt very badly, I give him my card. I've been giving these things out like freaking candy. So if it starts to hurt severely, like you feel you're going to die, then send Mary here. I recognize her. I'll recognize her face. Send her around to my house, and I'll come and I'll look at you again. All right?
Yeah, given how drunk he is, he will agree to basically anything.
Whatever. I'm going to tell Mary all this then. She's sober, right? Or at least somewhat more sober than him.
She's sober.
All right, yeah. I'm going to tell her this. You come by the house. If the pain gets worse, is there any kind of analgesic I can recommend? Any painkiller? Like drugs? Laudanum?
Opium?
Do I have
laudanum, alcohol?
Ooh, do I have some
morphine? Laudanum, possibly. Morphine, almost certainly.
Morphine seems a bit extreme. I can give him some morphine, but I'm not going to leave him with morphine.
Yeah, morphine works best.
I'll give him some morphine to just offset the pain a little bit. If I have laudanum, I will leave her with a small bottle and tell her and give her instructions on its use if the pain becomes very bad again.
Yeah.
Do not take it straight.
And then off to church.
Off to church. Okay, I clean my hands.
So now we know who you guys shot.
Just a moment. Let me take a nip of it first. No. Take that laudanum yourself.
I probably should. No. I need to be clear of mind in case something goes wrong. I'm expecting not.
So, fun fact, now we know who you shot.
Yes.
And what
Tommy Blue, who's got blue hands. And I know his address, or at least the house he is in currently.
Yeah, you know his address, you know his first name, we don't know his last name. I notice a lot of people around here, he relies on a nickname, especially with outsiders.
He will... Ooh. Oh, I moved this over here.
In other words, he makes a point of not telling you what his actual last name is.
That's fine. He's got blue hands.
Yeah.
It's not going to be hard to find.
He's not hard to find in that sense.
Yeah, so I'm not terribly concerned. Yeah, and then off to church.
When you get to the church, you'll find the place, like on a Friday night, is packed.
Yes. Oh, God.
By the time you've arrived, the front is already filled up.
Yeah. Oh, so good.
You're not late, but you've arrived basically right before things are to begin.
Oh, my God.
So you'll find yourself at the back.
I like being in the back.
Latecomers end up at the back.
That's where I was last time. Last week.
Yeah.
It was only last week.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
And there's Reverend Brown.
I touched some beeswax. It's a little beeswax in my ears to try to numb some of the sounds to maybe help me not go quite so crazy before I get in there.
That'll work. No Mr. Graves, but you suspect where he is.
No, I don't. I don't know exactly. I don't think I know exactly why they went to Oxford.
Did you not? Did they not know that? I thought you did.
They sent me a note.
I think they explained it in the message.
Did they explain it? Okay.
I believe they did.
So
it's, if you're not seeing Graves here, good bet that's where he is.
Oh, okay.
So you had suspected he might have gone to Oxford. They know that.
Mm-hmm.
You can guess at it, because otherwise, where else would he be if not here?
Yes, they thought Dr. Blythe might be in danger. Yep. That was part of the message.
And once you'll see what you expected to see. So first off, the beginning with Reverend Brown offering a sermon. Once again, by the way, speaking on the Book of Enoch, which seems to be which seems to be his favorite topic these days. He also is going on now about Azazil.
Oh.
And it's unclear whether he means Azazil a being or Azazil a place.
Right.
Because at one point he suggests that Azazil is among us. At another point he suggests it's a place we're going to go to. And at another point he suggests that it's a place we are already at.
Does anybody look confused by this? This is different.
Not at all.
Kind of different. Okay.
In other words, people are lapping up what he's saying, and if it makes no sense, allow me to remind you how many Americans routinely listen to speeches by people who make no fucking sense.
Yeah. Okay.
And buy every word, even as it contradicts itself.
Who's he summoning tonight? It's the next name on the list. I know that.
Yep. Which should be, where were we at on the list? Where'd the list go?
We're in a bad place. We're in a bad place. Oh,
yeah,
man. I'm having difficulty hearing his sermon anyway because my ears have beeswax in them.
Yeah, this is a good point.
But I can make out certain things.
I believe that according to his list, next on the list was Ananiel.
Ananiel. Oh, great.
According to his list, anyway.
Oh, boy.
And we're not sure what order his list is in.
Well, he gave me the order. He said it right out.
Although, how much of it do you remember?
All of it. I remember all of it.
Sounded very familiar.
I remember all of it.
But he mentions that name.
Okay.
But really what he's on about is how Azazil is among us, is with us, is a place we are or are going to, implying that in some cases that it's already here. That it's just a matter of we have to understand how to see it, how to experience it.
Already here. How to see it, experience it. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And then he turns his back on the assembled crowd.
Did he do this before?
No, this is new.
I've only been to one service. Okay.
Yeah. And this time, it's not the rose window.
Oh.
This time, you can see something beginning to sort of knit itself out of nothing.
Where?
Above him.
Oh.
So he turns and looks at it.
Boy.
And where the cross would have been if this was still a Christian church, the space there bifurcates, knits, becoming 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 or infinite numbers of spaces, as if the air itself is being woven. By the way, this will actually cost you another sanity throw because this is new.
Yeah, great. Dang on it. At least I can't hear it.
This did not happen last time like that.
No, I thought
maybe you're watching something.
Well,
maybe you're watching something akin to what happened to the rose window, but now you're actually seeing it face on.
Oh, fail. 70 out of 59. Damn it. I am not catching a break with these freaking monsters.
Well, that's sort of par for the course there. It's going to cost you 3 points.
That's not terrible.
But you don't need to make, of course, another sanity throw as the thing emerges from that. Because it's what you expected to see, the Shantak.
Okay.
It knits itself out of that, basically piecing its body together out of nothing.
Here's another question for you. I'm looking at other people around. Do they seem at all surprised that were they looking towards the rose window? Or
Some
is this
of them
just...
were, and when they see it's over there, they turn around to watch.
Do they look surprised, like, ooh?
Some of them were confused. Some of them were surprised. Some of them were not.
Some of them were not. Okay.
So, good bet that this is a thing that's happened before, even if you haven't seen it before.
Right. And not all these people have seen it before.
Yep.
Okay, sorry to interrupt.
Some people are now starting to dance.
Oh, boy.
There must be music somewhere, although clearly you're not hearing it very well.
Yeah, last time there was a band up on the catwalk.
Choir or whatever, yeah.
Now you're hearing music. You're not seeing the band, but you can hear and feel music. In other words, the band is probably somewhere off stage, perhaps behind the door on the second level.
Okay.
Oh wait, if it's manifesting them there, the band would have been in the way.
Oh, okay,
So the
gotcha,
band
gotcha.
is
So the
back a
band is
little
just
bit.
somewhere else, tucked away. Okay.
Exactly. And of course, you're not really hearing the music, although you can kind of feel it.
Mm-hmm.
You can actually feel the floor start to vibrate a bit. Some people actually throw themselves on the floor as if to feel the vibration better.
Okay.
Other people are waving their hands in the air, trying to get its attention. And it floats out into the crowd.
God damn it. Okay.
You saw that before.
Mm-hmm. Yep,
Except
yep. Last time it
except
came from
this
the back of the church and moved forward. This time it's coming from
Yeah.
the front of the church and moving back.
Yes.
Correct? Towards me?
Yep. Yeah, it's coming your way now.
Oh God, I fall down to my knees in supplication.
It's moving over the crowd.
I'm praying hard. For
yeah.
real.
Some people are doing what you're doing. Others are waving their hands in the air. Some are falling on the floor. Some people grip each other and start to dance or jump around.
I'm going to try to keep an eye on it. Even if my head is bowed, I just want to know where it is.
Okay. And then it reaches down that extra limb, that tentacle, nose, trunk, whatever it is, and it actually lifts up a person.
Oh, no.
It's a young man. His clothing is ragged. He's clearly poor. It grabs him around the midsection. He's waving his arms at it, as if he's hoping it notices him. And it reaches down and it picks him up. And it lifts him into the air.
Okay.
And
Is it
now the band goes silent. Although you can still feel the vibrations on the floor.
God. Okay.
And it's holding him with the trunk thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then he announces, Azazil has come. Except that voice, it's penetrating a bit even into your ears, like nails on a chalkboard. It's probably a good thing you're using the wax,
Oh, thank goodness.
so you're not experiencing the full effect of that. He sweeps his arms around, although the movements are barely human anymore.
So, I'm sorry. Did the Shantok say Azazel has come?
No,
or
the boy
No,
did.
the man
but in
it picked up did.
Okay.
in an
All right.
inhuman
Although
voice.
it's a good bet it's puppeting the
Yeah,
man.
it's an inhuman
I
voice.
gotcha. I just
Yeah.
wanted to make sure. All right, go continue. I'm sorry.
And then it sets the man down. Others now begin surrounding him, mobbing him. Some of them are attempting to kiss him. Others are literally tearing at his clothing. Like, you can see one person, a young woman, for instance, tears a piece of his collar. And his collar is in bad enough shape that it actually comes off.
Mhm.
And she waves it like a flag and runs into the crowd as if she's a winner.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's like fans tearing clothes off of rock stars and stuff.
Or a relic.
Yeah, obviously. Well, I mean, yeah, that's just a base comparison.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like,
boy.
people are tearing at his clothing as if owning it counts as a relic.
Mm-hmm.
They lift him up,
What's the thing doing?
crowd surf him toward the front. It moves around the crowd, so it passes directly over you,
I'm still praying.
and then it moves back to the front.
Oh, thank goodness. I thought you were going to
Where
ask for a
it
luck
reaches-
check.
No, it grabs one person of those who were looking to be grabbed. It then it arrives back where it started, extends the tentacle thing down to Reverend Brown, who grips it, as if the two of them are having a conversation. It almost feels like he's shaking its hand,
God. Okay.
insofar as you can shake the head of such a thing. Oh, here's a point where you should make another sanity check.
Oh, boy. Okay. What am I down to? All right. 56. 61.
And that's going to be another
I'll
Bit.
take it. I'll eat it.
6 this time.
All right. Do you want me to
That's
make an
9 in
intelligence check?
What'd you start the night with?
9. I started with 59.
So 10% would be
it's 20%.
20% would be 12.
Yeah,
Right?
roughly 12.
So you're not at 12
so I'm
yet.
almost there. I'm almost to essentially a breaking point.
Although with 5 in one go, you should probably make an intelligence check anyway.
Well, it was 6 in one go. But yeah.
6, well, at least
Yeah,
5
I
in
know.
one go.
Okay. I want to fail this. All right. 55, my intelligence. I'm not super smart. That's why I'm here. 99! Holy crap! Yes!
Okay.
I don't go
Nothing to be
I
had
don't
there, then.
have a bout of madness at least. I don't run up and try to be friends with the monster or some crazy crap.
And the reason for that one was because when Brown shakes its hand, you can see through him too.
Could I
As in,
see
there's
through
a
the
moment-
Shantak the whole time?
Not through it, but remember how it sort of weaves itself into
Right.
existence?
So for a second, he's like out of.
He's in the same. He just went to its home, as if he visited its dimension.
Does he stay there?
As if he was incorporeal in that moment as well.
Oh my god. Okay. That's terrifying.
And you see the Shantak, and you can see through him, as if
Okay.
he's not there and not there at the same time. And when he lets go of it, that condition for him continues. And there's a period of maybe 30 seconds where he is both tangible and intangible at the same time. As in, light is capturing him, so you can see him with your eyes, and light is going through him, and you can see the wall behind him at the same time. And that is
Okay.
not how light works.
Yeah.
At all, ever.
No. Okay.
And he turns to the audience to show them that he is intangible. In other words, he's now demonstrating what he just did. And a roar of approval from the crowd.
For a second, I thought somebody would walk up and put their hands through him. Ooh.
Well, they don't need proof. They're faithful. They don't need proof.
Yeah, that's true.
But they are very thrilled with what just happened. In other words, this is a good night for them. They spoke to it. It touched one of their people, who's now kind of a hero or a sage or a martyr or something.
Where is he? Is he gone? I mean, did he get taken away
No.
somewhere?
He's crowd surfed up to the front.
Right, so he's up front.
I don't mean voluntarily. Like they picked him up.
Oh yeah.
And moved him hand over hand to the front.
Okay.
So he has effectively crowd surfed his way to the front. And when he gets there, he takes a knee at the base of the altar, and Brown comes up to him, puts his hand on the young man's shoulder, and that's when the dual effect ends, and Brown just looks like a man again.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody loved that.
Yeah, I bet.
And then Brown takes the young man, takes him by the shoulders basically, and raises him up, and says to the crowd assembled, Azazil is among us. Azazil is here. Come and see. Those who have eyes, come and see. Those who have ears, come and hear. The time has come.
Uh-oh.
And the young man, by the way, is simply shuddering at this point. His eyes are closed. He's either in intense pleasure or intense pain. It's hard to be certain.
Yes is the answer.
Yeah, and yes is a perfectly valid answer to that question.
Oh, okay. I'm just watching.
Yep.
I'm waiting for that thing to go away.
The thing will now fold itself out of existence. And Brown ends the night with the same phrase he used before.
Mm-hmm.
And the crowd responds in kind. People are now beginning to pick themselves up off the floor. A number of people, by the way, are looking for articles of clothing they discarded. The number of people who are dancing threw away their coats or hats or whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
And now realize, hey, where's my hat? Where's my coat? So people are passing articles of clothing back to their owners.
Is Liza anywhere near me?
A luck roll will tell you that.
Okay.
She's probably here. Is she near you? That's a matter of
Yeah. My luck is... 23 out of 57.
Yes, you will see her As they're
Hard
now
success.
setting up the food service, you'll see her joining the back of the line for food service.
Okay. Can I intercept her before she gets to the line?
Before, no, but you can catch up to her as she joins the line.
Okay.
And she's a long way from the front.
Right. I'm going to casually take the beeswax out of my
you've got time to
ears.
talk. Yeah, you've
Yeah,
got
I just
time
want
to
to
do
ask
whatever
her
you want while she's standing in the line.
who is that young man? Who is that? I'll point to him if he's still out here.
He's standing by the altar now.
Right.
People are still surrounding him. Someone has brought him a cup of some kind of hot drink. Someone else has brought him a blanket. Because he's practically naked at this point.
Yeah.
People have torn his clothes so badly, he's almost naked.
Mm-hmm.
So someone's brought him a blanket to wrap himself in. In other words, he's looking a bit like a trauma survivor when someone's brought him a hot drink and a blanket.
Yeah. Who is that, Liza? What's his name?
Ludd, I think.
Has anything like that happened before?
No,
They've
not that I can recall.
never said Azazil has come?
Well, the Reverend spoke of Azazil, but never said that it was with us now.
Oh.
That's new. But
Yes.
he always said it was coming, so today has got to be a glorious day.
And now it's here. He's here. Him. I
Another
don't have
person
any...
nearby confirms for you that's Billy Ludd.
Billy Ludd. Okay.
Yeah, is the young man who's wrapped in a blanket right now. He's a tanner's apprentice.
Okay. Okay.
Or at least,
He looks all
according to
messed
someone
up.
else, he was a tanner's apprentice. Apparently, recently no longer a tanner's apprentice. Apparently, he was thrown out.
Okay. How thick is the crowd
So
around
now
him?
he's apparently unemployed.
Well, yeah. How thick is the crowd around him?
Pretty thick. People are still trying to get close to him to speak with him. He's become a local celebrity just like that.
But he still looks like all messed up.
He's not in a great place.
I'm going to go over there.
Clearly enjoying the attention. On the other hand, is he really? Okay, so you
I
make
don't
your
know.
way over there.
Yeah, I'm going to try to get through without being impolite.
Well,
Of course.
You'll have to wait your turn a bit.
I'll wait my turn a bit. Where's Reverend Brown? Is he still hanging out next to him, or is he about?
He's gone down into the crowd, is shaking hands with people,
Okay.
is speaking with people. You can hear a number of people asking him, "How do I get to Azazil?" And he keeps telling them, "It's by faith. Open your eyes and see. Open your ears and hear."
Oh yeah, that same bullshit. Okay.
So he's not giving people directions like,
No.
take the third left.
All right, I'm going to try to get up to this youth.
Okay, you can do that once. You'll have to wait for an opening, but
I will. I'll wait. I'm polite. My character's very polite. So once I get up to him, I will say, "Excuse me, Billy Ludd, young man.
I was.
I'm a doctor. Can I help you? Are you in need of anything?"
I don't think you can help me anymore.
Oh.
His eyes are far away,
Okay.
like he's looking through you, not at you.
Yeah, like Brown. Oh, very well. Very well.
And by the way, that part will hit you a little bit too. Are you Billy Ludd? I was.
Oh yeah, it did.
What is he now?
I don't know. I'm not going to touch him. Oh, very well. If you're not in need of assistance.
We've never been better.
All right. I will take my leave and get away from Billy Ludd, who has somebody else in him as well.
Or
He's
he thinks so.
full of people right now.
He contains multitudes, apparently, or at least two, which I guess is a multitude. It's more than the standard number.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you have two wolves inside you, you should see a doctor right now. The standard number is 0.
Yeah. Okay, that's it. I'm going home. I'm getting the hell out of here. I've lost a ton of sanity. I'm all messed up, and and things are bad. Things are bad.
And apparently now Azazil is here, and Billy Ludd is the key to it.
Yeah, and he's going to be in this church now for a while. So, Billy Ludd. All right, I'm going to head back for home, and Once I'm home, I'm going to write 3 letters to just say contact me immediately and send them off to Baker and Edgeworth and Illingsworth's homes.
Okay, so if
when
we'll
they get them.
We'll jump ahead then to when you guys get back, which will be either Saturday night if you want to press it or Sunday morning, your choice.
I think we agreed Sunday morning.
Okay,
Well,
so you're taking...
Yeah, did we get that? Did we get pretty well rested up? I mean,
yeah. Point is, you can return Saturday night if you push it a little bit on Saturday. In other words, you need about a 12 to 14 hour travel day. If you're not going to push the pace, you need 12 to 14 hours. So if you leave Friday early in the morning, you'll arrive in London after dark on Saturday.
Yeah. So the difference was, do we make the Constitution roll to see if we get there without being completely exhausted and haggard?
Yeah. Or you arrive on Sunday in good health and well rested.
Okay. Yeah, that's right. So yeah, I guess Sunday or whatever it is.
In other words, put in an 8 to 10 hour travel day.
Yeah.
Rest, take a night, stop a night at an inn, arrive Sunday morning, well rested and well fed.
Yeah.
Or push through 12 to 14 hours Saturday and arrive in the evening after that kind of a travel day.
My guy's not going to be able to handle anything that's going to strain his constitution. So
yeah. Okay, so take it more leisurely, and so you'll arrive well rested and well fed on Sunday morning, which is where, of course, you'll get those letters. Baker is not back yet. He's clearly still in Oxford.
In that case, I'd make my way to Dr. Payne at my earliest possible convenience.
So probably Sunday by about midday. So we'll say Sunday around midday is when you guys will arrive at Dr. Baker's home. Both of you probably arriving within an hour or two of each other. Baker's not back yet, but you knew that. So we'll resume then, if that's okay with everybody. So Sunday around noon at Dr. Payne's residence. Where are you filling them in on what you saw at the church?
Yes, very detailed filling in.
Okay, you guys heard that, so.
We'd also fill you in on the entire trip, what we learned in Oxford, and the fact that the members of the church came to assassinate Dr. Blythe.
Was Graves there?
And probably steal his books.
Graves was there. He wasn't at the church. Azazil's here now, so I suspect I should have tried to find a little more out about Billy Ludd, but
here,
that's not happened before. Yeah, I fill you in on what happened.
No.
Of apparently Azazil's inside Billy Ludd now, a tanner's apprentice who's out of work.
No, ex-tanner's apprentice.
Yes, former tanner's apprentice.
Like most of the inhabitants of Little Vicar Lane, he's a nobody.
Yeah. Yes, I suppose I should have done something the last 2 days. This was quite shocking.
After what happened Friday night?
Yeah.
A day or two off was not the world's worst.
This was very shocking. I describe how it formed itself out of the ether, how Reverend Brown was intangible, and that apparently we have jumped to the end. Oh, could I have sent a message to the Impossible Chamber Saturday morning?
Oh, yeah.
Or is it too late? Yeah, hey, Azazil is here. It probably doesn't make a lot of sense. My character's still reeling from this whole situation. His name is now, it used to be Billy Ludd, a tanner's apprentice, but now his name is Azazil.
Or for that matter, is Azazil a place, a thing, a being?
I don't know. Azazil's here. That's what they said. Azazil's here. It's, it was, there's,
Oh, and I should point out, by the way, if you take in the Sunday newspapers...
Yes, I do. I read them vicariously. I always do.
So there is several newspapers are carrying reports of another balloon hoax. This one's seen over London.
What? When was it? Friday night during the service?
It was Friday night, and sometimes some of them on Saturday too. That half a dozen balloons were seen.
I'm pulling the papers out and I just hold them up
Mhm.
for Connor, for Edgeworth and Illingsworth.
Yeah, hadn't
Those are the
noticed till Sunday.
things.
Because
Those are
let's face it, you probably didn't read Saturdays.
no. I've been in a bit of a daze and drinking
Yeah,
heavily,
so
probably both days.
so this is Sunday. They've been reported in a number of places, and some of the less respectable papers are
Oh,
also suggesting that a wave of violence followed, given that rumors that these were French invaders. At least that's how they're explaining it.
So
That at places where some of these balloons were seen, there was violence. Apparently, down near Wapping Dock, there was a murder, allegedly over the balloon hoax, where someone claimed that someone else was a French invader and murdered them with a shovel.
yes, madness has come to London. Did you have a nice time in Oxford? Oh, you already told me. I'm a
Yeah.
bit.
No,
Say,
no, they didn't.
I'm a
Madness
bit.
has come to Oxford as well.
A nice night camping, at least.
I
By the way,
I
are we sure
killed
those
you.
were balloons and not
Say-
more Shantax?
No, that's what I told them. Those are the
Checking.
things. Those are the things. And there's a bunch of them.
Those are Shantox.
Yeah, now that if that's true, there's more than one of them.
Or at least, yes.
Or one that appeared in multiple locations, or more than one.
Mm-hmm.
And Azazil's here.
Nevertheless, a terrible sign.
Azazil.
And now people
Something's
all over
coming to a
London are
head,
seeing them.
clearly.
What do we do, gentlemen? Where is Baker?
he
He'll be
stayed
arriving
with.
soon.
Yeah, he made
Soon
sure
enough.
Professor whatever was.
Dr. Blythe.
Oh, Dr. Blythe was okay.
I found his victim, by the way, as well.
Hmm.
Tommy
Oh, yeah,
Blue.
the guy Baker shot.
He was shot straight through,
Ah, the one.
and his hands are blue. You'd believe it if you'd see it, too.
Straight.
But he's alive.
Are you quite alright? Are you quite
I am.
alright, Doctor?
Not at all right.
Hmm.
I'm looking at the paper again.
Hey,
Reports
Well, I
of
Something has
all
to be done.
things in the air that people are mistaking for balloons. Violence across the city now. Yeah.
And Azazil.
Well, that's not in the paper, but you guys know that. The newspapers have nothing on that. Nothing on Enoch, nothing
Question.
on Azazil, nothing on the idea of hell on
Question.
earth.
Question
People are
for
trying to rationalize what they saw
keeper.
in the air.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No,
Uh, what's the composition of the church vis-a-vis wood to stone?
it's primarily stone.
Dang it.
The floors and interior structure is wood, but the structure itself is stone.
All
Whether
right.
they actually polish that wooden floor. It's kind of a dance floor. 150 years later, someone will turn it into a disco and it'll work great.
What'd you say it was Sunday afternoon?
Yeah. But for the moment, we're a long way from disco.
Mm-hmm.
And
So
notice
I'm
how
gonna
many people at
describe-
the Friday night service were in fact dancing.
I'm going to describe Billy Ludd.
Yep.
Every detail, if there's any specific, if he had any features that really stood out, I want them. Because I actually went up and
eyes, small nose. Not a great looking kid.
I can't draw.
Stringy blonde hair.
Okay, giving
You'd
him
know
all
him again
that.
you'd know him again if you saw him. But
Yeah, I
the
went up
others
and talked
probably
to him.
wouldn't.
It sounds like he sounded possessed. He sounded like
Sounds like.
Azazil's in him.
Mm.
And apparently, I'm pointing to the paper again, bringing more Shantax. So what's to be done?
Really, something's coming to a head, and it centers on the church and this young man. Would it be worthwhile to remove him from the
Kill
playing
him.
field, as it were?
Kill him?
No. To
I think it's too late for that.
hmm,
Um, if it is Azazil inside him, all these things. Did you? And you guys would have filled me in on Connor and
Hmm.
oh my God,
Um,
I'm blanking on their names.
Collins,
and
And Cameron.
Cameron. Thank you.
Cameron.
I was gonna say Colgrave. Collins and Colgrave. Did you tell me about your delightful brunch with them, Edgeworth?
I would have. I would have.
Okay.
I would have
Okay.
filled you in.
Um, where are they now?
Good question.
Oh, I tell them about what the Impossible Chamber told me about what's her face.
So be it.
Yeah,
Hmm.
and so that she's not to be trusted.
So they
Aren't they
say.
making ready to depart on a vacation?
They
In
are at the
quotes.
club. They're living at the club right now.
Right.
They think it'll be safe.
Sorry,
Like, you should go on
interrupting.
vacation immediately, and they're like, "Well, we'll go when we want to. We're not scared.
Mhm.
We're not scared."
So at least our magicians don't think London's going to explode.
Don't they? After, I'm looking at Saturday morning and Friday night. After all this, perhaps you should question them, or not, or maybe we make
Mhm.
our way to the church. What's the most explosive
I think
substance that you can buy, Kevin?
Black powder.
Ooh, how
I would
suspicious
have.
is it to buy a lot of it?
Quite.
Damn.
I mean, not that
But
they're that concerned about it, but ever since Guy Fawkes,
Yeah.
anyone buying a huge quantity of black powder is
I'm just
probably up
talking a
to no
couple
good.
pounds. Is that a lot?
mm,
Yeah, it kind of is.
Oh, okay.
Fun fact, by the way, the reason Guy Fawkes is so popular wasn't his own day. It was in the 1970s that somebody around London started putting up bumper stickers or stickers all over like lampposts and walls and whatnot with that mask that read Guy Fawkes was the only man who ever entered Parliament with honest intentions.
Yeah.
That's what made him famous, not his own day. But still, point of the matter is that for some reason the government is still a little suspicious about people who want gigantic quantities of explosives.
I need to blow up some stumps. Why would they ever believe me?
Stump removal. Yeah.
Stump removal, yes. I should have the dice roller up on the other computer.
Because you live in London, where there aren't many stumps to remove.
It's a big one, though. I mean,
I think
I
that
point
making
over
our way to
to.
the church, the next logical step.
I feel we should move with all due haste at this juncture.
Mm,
Besides, does any of you really know anything about how to set up an explosive?
I
Nope.
figure you
No.
just
Well,
light it on
infernal
fire
method.
and hope for the best.
Yeah. Turns out it's actually a little more complex than
Oh,
that.
it's a lot more complex. All right. Reverend Brown is a
And for what
danger.
it's worth, by the way, just meta thing, I'm pretty sure somewhere the chamber might actually have an infernal device, and they are never going to use it.
What's an infernal device?
A time bomb, essentially,
Oh, yeah, okay.
which they are never going to use because it's a really bad idea.
Um,
Someone
Reverend
actually did
Brown.
try to use one to blow up Napoleon at one point.
Reverend Brown.
That went very poorly for everybody involved, except Napoleon.
Reverend Brown is a danger. This Ludd. Billy Ludd. Billy Ludd
Mhm.
is probably
He's the middleman there.
extremely dangerous if he actually has this thing inside of him.
Yeah.
How do we deal with this? Especially if they're calling down. Had this happened Friday night and Saturday night or Saturday day?
Night.
These both.
Nobody's seen them by
And now
day
it's
yet.
Sunday. Okay, nobody yet. There's a keyword there. Yes.
Yep.
Violence is
I have my
erupting.
rifle at home.
Are you a good shot?
I'm a good shot with a rifle, not with a pistol.
Oh.
I don't think I could kill another man right now.
Hold on. Damn it, it's afternoon. Fuck, I wish you'd gotten back earlier. Isn't there a service? There's a service, Baker said, on Sunday morning.
Yeah,
Kind of a regular service at St. Anne's. That would have been the time to do it. My guess is Billy Ludd is up in the vicarage, upstairs.
Mm,
Maybe. I could probably find out. No word from Mary. What's his face hasn't gotten any worse.
Apparently not.
Okay.
In all honesty, you did very well. He's probably getting better right now.
Good. Well, yeah, that's good. I guess.
He's just about to OD on laudanum, is what it is.
I didn't leave him that much. I don't know. I'm pretty certain Billy Ludd is upstairs. I could go talk to the Reverend Brown again and see if, but he won't answer any questions about what happened. Because he never answers any questions about anything. It seems like.
Yeah, he is an evasive little bastard.
Yeah, he is.
Could you ask to see this Mr. Ludd?
To what purpose?
Just check on him, maybe medically.
Well, he said he was fine. I could. Yes, I could do that.
I mean, I am grasping at straws. I would assume
As
though,
am I.
like, yeah.
Things have progressed very quickly here suddenly, and I thought we had a few weeks, and we don't. Yes, I could do that. What do the two of you want to do? Will you be somewhere about with rifles or whatever you're good at, whatever you can shoot well? I'm better with a rifle as well, but I can't carry one into the church.
Yeah, sort of
Seems
self-evident.
that things are coming to a head. Whatever's happening, I do think is in the church, in the bowels of the church. We need to get into that basement. Perhaps, perhaps Ludd will be down there. Perhaps there's some kind of
Well, it could be
shrine.
in the basement. I don't know. How? How do we get in? There's always people there, aren't there? There's always been at least people cleaning out front or piddling around
Yeah,
and shit.
never seen the place empty. Brown himself spends a lot of time in his office or in the vicarage. I mean, he lives there and he works there, so he's there a lot. You've almost always seen at least somebody cleaning.
I have an idea, but it's a terrible idea.
Yeah, I don't think you've ever seen the place empty.
No.
What's your idea?
It's a terrible idea. It's a terrible idea. You know, what would they do if the neighborhood caught fire?
I imagine the good members of the church would act swiftly to protect their neighbors.
Yes, yes. Something like that could spread.
Quick point, by
Like
the
in
way.
1666.
Well, just worth pointing out, by the way. Arson is a capital crime.
Right. And there are monsters coming out of time and space to destroy the world.
I'm aware. Listen, I'm aware of that too. The point is that there are monsters from time beyond time and space is not a valid legal defense.
Oh no, I know.
And they will hang you for arson.
What I'm saying is, at this point, we are entering the "we are now criminals" phase of Call of Cthulhu that all investigators eventually find themselves in, whether they want to or not.
Yeah, sometimes one has to do things that are illegal.
They're very illegal.
Do you think it would be possible for you to enter the front end of the church and work your way to the back and let us in that back door?
No. I mean, it's possible.
Actually, it might well be. If you have a meeting with Brown in his office or in the vicarage, you could leave and go backward instead of forward.
Yeah, but he's always escorted me out. Every other time before, he's always walked us out.
No, sometimes he hasn't. Sometimes one time he kept working. He might walk you out. He might not.
In the daytime.
One time he didn't.
Daytime or night? When do you think?
I would think there would be less people there during the day.
All right.
But there might be more people about.
It's also easy to see during the day. Yes, I could go in and I could talk to him. It would be an impromptu meeting, I'm sure. It's not like he sends letters and notes back and forth, I don't think.
Well, right. I guess what I was getting at, if you thought you've been within the community enough, if you think you could at least enter the church and just simply walk to the back of it without anybody raising suspicion?
If no one sees me, probably not. But if I have an appointment or if I talk to Father Reverend Brown for a little while, then yes, potentially I could have. And if I could ask to see Billy Ludd. But from him.
This is also assuming that they wouldn't leave someone at the back entrance during the day for us as well.
I probably wouldn't. There's nothing to guard against. Really. And well, other thieves, it is wherever the hell it is. Limehouse.
Yeah.
It is Limehouse.
Yep.
But yeah, I kind of am assuming that they wouldn't leave someone there during the day. That they would just merely keep it locked.
I have no idea.
Yeah,
I
don't
scout
either,
it out
obviously.
and just look first, and then I could go in, ask to talk to Reverend Brown, and if he doesn't escort me out, I could snoop around. If the two of you are nearby,
Well,
I could let you. Well, I can't let you in if the door's locked. It requires a key from either side. That's how locks work.
Yeah. Now, was that lock? Was that a key lock? That was a key lock and a bolt lock.
It's probably. If it's just bolted, I can unbolt it and let you in easily.
There were both on that door.
What kind of windows in this place? Are these windows we can open potentially?
Yeah.
Or
Some of the first floor of the vicarage had windows that were openable as well.
Yeah, we haven't been to the second floor yet.
Yeah, opening a window is another possibility to let people in. So this could be done. If you can get in there and get a moment where no one is watching you, you could open a window or a door and let the others in.
Yeah. But the only problem with that is that, we could try this. Graves is going to be back, though, as well.
Which means you want to move fast.
Yeah.
Before he's back.
Oh, he might not be back. They busted ass coming back, too, didn't they, a little bit?
Yeah, and he may still be looking for Dr. He may be looking for Dr. Blythe still.
Yes, it'd be nice not to deal with him.
True.
Which means you want to move, if you're planning on doing this, you want to move as soon as possible.
Let's go.
Because if Graves is not back yet, it's safer. He's the guy you don't want to run into if you're trespassing.
Right. Okay. I'm going to go to my study.
And if he's not in town,
I'm getting all my guns. I'm wrapping them in something. I'm handing them off to Illingsworth. There's a fowling piece and a flintlock rifle there.
Okay.
The fowling piece is basically a shitty shotgun.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It fires shot. I have quite a bit of powder and shot as well. Probably at least 10 shots for each gun. Because why not?
And honor the rifle at least. He said.
Thank you.
So arm yourself. You two arm yourselves up and hide them in basically a roll.
Yeah, they're hiding in the bushes. I'm gonna be fully armed with my 2 pistols.
Okay, and you're going back to the church.
Yes.
So by the time you arrive, it'll be
actually
about 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the afternoon, something around that.
Before we actually go through with this, I suggest that all 3 of us kind of wander that direction to some nearby street where we can at least see that back door first and see if there's a guard on it.
Yeah, there is not.
Okay. Then at that juncture, they are going to hide. I'm going to take a slightly roundabout route. I will have my... They don't have ether yet, do they?
What's that?
They don't
ether,
have
I believe.
ether?
Yeah, ether is sometimes in use.
I'm going to take a huge bottle of ether. Ether's highly flammable. It is super flammable.
Oh. Yeah, it is.
So I can get away with taking a small bomb with me. I'm going to take as much as I can carry in my bag.
Yeah, ether won't explode, but it will burn.
No, but it'll burn like a motherfucker. Like, it'll light everything on fire. So, just in case, my biggest jar of ether, the one I usually keep in the cabinet, I'll throw that in, because why the hell not?
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Because I've usually come with my doctor's bag. I haven't come to talk to Brown, and I'm going to tell him I'm going to spend a little time before I go in to talk to Brown, talking to some of the locals and seeing if anybody needs any medical help, like I usually do.
Okay.
So I'll spend 20 minutes doing that, or less, if it comes down and nobody really needs my help or anything like that, and I'm giving money to beggars and heading into the church Sunday. It's Sunday afternoon. So it shouldn't be a service.
You can always find people who are willing to who are needing help.
Yeah,
So
I'll
you
help
can
some
take more
people then.
time to
Yeah,
do that.
I'll bandage
In
up
this neighborhood,
some wounds.
yeah,
I'll apply some poultices or whatever to certain people with
it's far
certain
more
things.
disease than injuries.
Give some laudanum to
That
some
could really
people
help.
or various like other things to help them relieve their pain, or
Yeah,
advice. Say, oh no, you need to eat this kind of food or whatever I
yeah.
need to do.
And then make your way to
And
the
then make my
church.
way to the church. See if we still got people in there cleaning again.
By the time you get there, the place is pretty empty.
You say about 1
Uh,
p.m.
Closer to 2 by this point.
That's fine.
You will find, oh, there's Liza.
Liza,
She's doing what you saw her doing last week. She's cleaning.
the knave. Do you
She's
know?
sweeping up.
I'm gonna gossip with her for a couple minutes. Oh,
Okay.
what's been happening? Blah blah blah. How was the service this morning? And blah blah
Uh,
blah. Sorry I missed it. And how's Billy Ludd?
she actually
Azazil.
didn't attend the morning service.
Okay. Yeah, it's not very
The
interesting.
morning service is, yeah, so she'll agree with you. It's uninteresting.
Yeah, yes.
It's what the Reverend, she'll admit at this point, it's what the Reverend does for show. The
Oh.
real service you were at Friday night.
Oh yes. It was
The Sunday morning thing is just
amazing.
is nonsense, and everybody knows it.
Well, what? How is Billy Ludd?
I couldn't tell you. I haven't seen him since.
Oh no. Well, I came to see. Uh, Reverend Brown is now.
He's
There's.
working in his office, I believe.
Oh, do you mind? Or would
No,
you
no.
like to?
No, go
I
ahead.
don't think you'll mind if I stop in. Do you?
No, I don't think he'd mind at all.
Okay.
I need to finish up here.
Oh, of course. What's she doing?
She's at the moment sweeping. She's probably going
Okay.
to polish the floor later.
Okay.
In other words, after when the weekend services are done, she's one of the people who comes in to clean the floor. Notice how they keep their stuff clean.
Yeah, they keep their stuff real
Yeah.
clean. Yeah. With
Part of the reason the way they do that is they hire people like her to come in and first she's going to scrub, first she's going to sweep, then she's going to mop.
Oh boy. Okay. All right. Well,
So
very good.
she's got a lot to do with that regard.
Yeah. All right. We'll head back to the vicarage
Yep.
downstairs. Tap on his door if it's closed.
It's the door. The door to Brown's office is actually partly open.
Oh.
And you can see him working at something. He's sitting at his desk.
Mm-hmm.
He's working. He sees you. Please come in.
Oh, I'm
Puts
sorry to
aside what
interrupt.
he puts aside what he's working on.
Okay.
A spot hidden roll will tell you what it's just put aside. If you want.
I do want to see what he's working on, but I bet I'll fail a spot hidden. Let's see what it is. Yeah, my spot's not great. No, 39 out of 25.
Okay.
That's a chunk.
He apparently had the only thing you can see is he apparently had a map of some kind.
Oh, okay.
Couldn't tell what it was a map of
Right.
or what he was doing with it, but one of the documents that he had on his desk clearly was some kind of a map.
Okay. Um. I will admit to him that I was concerned about Billy Ludd, Azazil. The name I'm my confusion obviously is real. So
Of course.
about who or what he is.
Billy is what he'll tell you is Mr. Ludd is a lucky man. He has done a thing that few of us will ever get to do. He has communed with something greater.
How is his health?
Excellent.
Where is he?
Home, I expect.
Oh. I thought he might be here as he is such an important personage to the church.
No one of us stands above any other here.
Oh, I see.
He's, I trust, sharing his gifts with those who need them. As do I.
Oh, at home. I would really like to talk to him as well. You understand my confusion of all of this. I mean, I kind of we've discussed it at length.
Of course.
Could you tell me where he lives?
Number 17 Gretchen Lane. Third floor.
Okay, I'm gonna memorize that.
You've been through the area often enough. You know where Gretchen Lane is.
Okay.
Technically, Gretchen Close would be more correct.
Okay.
It's essentially a little cul-de-sac
Yeah. Oh,
that
oh.
that comes off of Vickers Lane.
I will continue to kind of question about what happened. Do I get anything of any use out of him, or is it still just a lot of like platitudes and?
Mostly platitudes, although
Okay.
he is pleased to know that Azazil is here, and that he did not expect this to happen as quickly as it did, but he's pleased. He didn't even know if it would happen in his lifetime.
This never happened before then.
No.
Oh.
This is happening now.
Oh.
He's been waiting for it. He's been
Amazing.
holding out for it.
Yes.
He did not. He'll admit freely he did not. He halfway expected it would never happen in his lifetime.
I'm just
Much
nodding
like
at that.
the early Christians who thought that Jesus would return in their own lifetime,
Right.
who didn't build a church because they didn't think they were going to be here long enough to need one.
Okay.
He did not
Yeah.
imagine that this would happen in his lifetime, and he feels incredibly blessed that it has.
I'm just nodding at that. I don't trust myself to make a response to these things. 'Cause,
Yep.
I'm
And
terrified.
the thing is, the lucky part for you is when you're done here, he does not come out with you. And
Okay.
as you leave,
Well, wait, could I ask
you
him
can
one
see
other
him-
thing? Could I say,
Mhm.
oh, I noticed you're looking at a map. I love maps.
I haven't figured it out yet. When I know, I'll share.
Figured out
Azazil.
what? Oh, the place and the person.
Precisely.
But the place
Yes.
is a place we could find. Possibly, maybe. But the person is also the place.
Yes.
Correct? All right. My character is really confused about this and is terrified. But yeah, yeah. And then at the end of the conversation, I'll thank him,
Yeah.
and
He takes the
I'll
map back out as you're leaving.
yeah, and I'll pull the
And
door
sets back to
closed
work on it. He's using.
without a word.
You can make another spot hidden roll on your way out.
Oh, thanks.
Notice something else that he's using. He's got a compass. He's got several pencils.
Oh, 6. Holy crap! I succeeded a spot hidden. Oh, I've already
But
done it. That's a
weirdest thing is-
hard success.
You know what else he's using?
Hmm.
The newspapers. And then it clicks with a hard success. What is he doing?
Where
He's
have those
plotting the
things?
locations where they appeared.
Yeah. Oh boy. Okay. I thank him.
Azazil, are those things a pointer to the Azazil as a place? Are they pointing at it?
Interesting. Okay. And I
Because that's what
close.
he's got the same newspapers you were reading,
Yeah. I didn't think about that.
except he's got a map, and with a hard
It's
success,
a map of
that's
London.
a map of the city of London.
Yeah, that's what I guessed. Yeah. I'll pull the door closed so he can have privacy. But then I'll creep
Okay.
back down the hallway to the back door, and I will see if it's locked first.
The key lock is not engaged. The bolt is.
I will unbolt it. Oh my god. And I'm gonna this is gonna end
You'll
my
also no-
friendliness with these people if they find out it was
You'll-
me.
You'll also notice near the door
Mm-hmm.
is it sitting by the door is on the floor is a chest, and the
Okay.
chest. The chest isn't locked. There's a variety of household goods, cheap jewelry, clothing.
Mm-hmm.
In other words, why is the door bolted but not locked? Because occasionally thieves come by and deposit goods here. So at certain
Okay.
hours, someone will be here, click, open bolt, accept goods. Thank you, bye-bye.
Close that back. I don't need it. Unless there's
Yeah,
guns
it's
in
nothing-
it or explosives.
No. These are things stolen from the neighborhood or around it.
Okay.
In other
I'm
words,
just gonna okay.
These are things that thieves are dropping off.
Is there
So
anybody
most of them are
outside?
household goods. Want cheap silverware? There's plenty of that in here.
No. They're
Plates?
stealing from other people in Limehouse. It's the poor stealing from
No,
the
they're-
poor half the time.
Or from folks a little further out of their own neighborhood.
Yeah.
But yeah, many of the things they've stolen here are goods you would expect to find in a poor household.
Is anybody outside?
At the moment, no, except your friends.
Okay.
In other words, the thieves probably come at specified times.
Yeah. I don't have time to tell them this information. I just tell them that that Brown is trying to figure out from where the Shantax appeared where Azazil is. It's in London. I think that's all we really have time to do. And you want to look in the basement?
If you guys
I'm
want to come in,
pointing
now's the
to
time.
that door. I'm pointing to that door. Let's go. I'll close the door.
Yep.
I'm going to go ahead and bolt it again.
Yep.
Well,
Leave it how you found it.
yeah, that's a good idea. Leave it how I found it. And let's creep down the hallway.
Okay.
Was there any
Yep.
sounds from any of these other rooms that I noticed?
Not on the first floor, no.
Okay. Where are the? We've never seen stairs either, have we?
No, you have.
Okay, there are some stairs.
You
up
know
to
where the stairs that go up are.
Okay. That's
That
what
take
I
you up to
meant.
the
That's what
second
I
floor
was.
of the vicarage. Yeah, that's easy to do.
Okay. We have seen them.
Oh.
They're in the hallway somewhere.
Yeah,
Okay,
and
okay.
we're assuming that the stairs down are the door that has the bolt on this side.
Yeah,
Right.
that's
I
Edgeworth.
haven't confirmed that, but the assumption is that what else would that bolt be doing there?
Yeah.
So,
Oh boy.
and in fact, now you can put that theory to the test and determine it is correct.
There's the
The
basement.
door with the bolt on this side. So the upside of this is it's easy to find the basement. The downside is
We don't.
the door is currently bolted. To enter the basement, you have to unbolt it.
Yeah.
There's no way to re-bolt it from the other side,
Right.
which means if anyone is paying attention, they might notice that the basement door is unbolted.
Were there any windows to the basement or like slits or anything that we noticed on
Not
the
that-
outside?
Not
Okay.
that you saw in there.
Okay.
So here's your access to the
Oh
basement
my
if you want it.
god. We've got to make this very quick and quiet.
So
You're muted, Edgeworth. Okay.
Worst comes to worst, I do have a key, and I just dropped the rifle.
Let's go. We're going to try to move very quickly.
shoot the bolt out from the other side.
Oh, that's true.
Yep.
Well, there's a fouling
Yeah,
piece
we're-
too. A shotgun. If this
Yeah.
door isn't very solid, the
Right.
shotgun should blast a hole. Let's
Yeah,
go.
worst to worst, you can
Exactly.
physically destroy the door if you have to.
Oh, I hate this being here with him, with Reverend Brown there and everything.
We make
We
Yep,
should have
he's
jumped
we
working.
in
make
We
our,
know
down,
exactly what
our
he's
way
doing.
down the stairs quietly,
as
right?
quietly as we can.
Okay,
Yes.
so slide the door open, step in, and sure enough, there's the stairs down to the basement.
Is there a
I
lantern?
hope I'm assuming one of you brought a lamp.
I did not, obviously.
No,
Right.
not you,
I
but I'm
brought
assuming one of the others.
Okay,
They
okay.
brought. If you guys thought to bring guns, I'm sure you thought to bring a lamp.
Not me.
I brought a
I'm
hooded
just
lantern
freaking
that
out.
would allow us to adjust the brightness, if that's all right.
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
absolutely. I mean, this is you planned this, so bring what you think you're going to need,
Let's go.
and close the door behind you. Make your way
Yes.
down the steps, and you'll find yourself in what is very clearly an actual proper basement.
Right.
So first things first, this is a real basement. Here are crates and barrels. Most of these contain things like foodstuffs. So for instance, here's flour. The number of barrels of it. Over here, blankets and cloth. Over there, a chest that contains sewing notions. In other words, things for making food and clothing that you've seen them distribute.
Mhm.
So
Moving
none of
on.
this is at all
Yeah.
is at all surprising.
Yeah.
It just takes a moment to confirm it is what you think it is, and then moving on from there. Over here, 2 kegs of open that cheap wine. Haven't seen them consuming much of that, but there you are. If you like poor quality wine, there's plenty of it here. You could do better. So on the surface, that's all this basement is.
Okay.
It's just a place they use for storage. But is that all?
I don't know.
Are we missing something?
I would like to make a spot hidden roll.
Secret doors.
Okay, so begin searching now. So spot hidden will help.
I'm gonna
You begin
go.
to search the
I'm gonna
place.
go to the steps and watch. My spot hidden is suck ass.
Okay.
Okay.
Gun in hand. The regular
Yeah, I'll
pistol.
be-
I'm gonna have the regular pistol in hand.
Oh.
That is a normal success. Would pushing
Yay.
it to it would bumping it down to a hard success.
Normal is
Open
good enough
anyway?
here.
Yeah, I barely failed.
Okay. Well, the two of you have to work together if you only got the one lamp.
Oh, true.
Doing this without a lamp is kind of a waste of time.
Yeah, I'm over there in the dark, just watching to see if a light shows at the top of the stairs. That's basically all
Yeah.
I'm doing.
Yeah, if the door opens, you'll see the light.
Yeah,
No way
and then
not
I'll try
to.
to warn them, and I think I
Yep.
know where that barrel is I can hide behind over there, but I suck at stealth too.
The door is not going anywhere. And
Good.
you'll actually discover there are 2 ways to exit this place. One of them is an old door that wasn't immediately visible because it is behind a stack of crates. So you'd have to move the crates to get at it. It also looks like that door hasn't been accessed in a while. given that the crates don't look like they've moved in a while. So there's something behind there, but I don't know if it's currently in use. On the other hand, if you were thin, you could actually possibly slip through to the door without moving the crates far. So there's the possibility it has been used and just not so evident. The other is a trapdoor in the floor.
Oh, there's two.
That was hiding under a sack of flour, and I'm not sure if it was hiding or someone simply threw the flour sack on top of it looking for a place to drop a flour sack. So that may be less hiding and more someone needing to put something down.
My personal description reads slim bordering on skinny, by the way, on my character sheet. So just FYI, I'm very tall. I'm slightly tall, but I'm skinny. I'm very slim.
Probably fit behind those crates without moving them and reach that entrance if you wanted to do so.
Okay, well, I don't know about it yet. I'm watching the door.
Alternatively, you could just move the crates, and then anyone can come and go.
But that would let people know that someone has been in here moving things potentially.
You want me to go back there? I'll go back there if you want me, Edgeworth.
Do we want to check the trapdoor first or the door?
Yes.
What?
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Whichever one you want.
Let's check the trapdoor first.
I'm still watching the door up the top of the
Pick up the flour sack and move it, no problem. And you're looking at a wooden trapdoor. It has a ring in it.
Okay.
You got the light out.
So you pull the ring and it'll open.
Very gently.
Yep. It squeaks a little, but it opens. And below that, if you shine the light down, there's an iron rung ladder that goes down.
Oh my god.
The rungs look like they are relatively modern. I mean, it's damp down here, but there's very little to no rust to be seen, implying that these rungs were installed within the last 20 to 30 years. So they've been driven into the wall to form a ladder, so you can climb down if you want to.
Okay. So we know that that's further. Illingsworth, I would motion to check the door now.
Okay, and I'll go up to Payne and get him.
Tell me I gotta go through because I'm a skinny man. All right.
Yeah, pretty much.
You would fit without having to move anything.
Okay, I'm gonna slip behind the boxes then and open the door.
Yeah. It actually slides. It slides and then it pushes inward like that.
I'll take his spot though at the top of the steps. Then
who's got the lantern? Can I see anything?
You're gonna you'll have
come
to
over to.
Okay,
I can.
You're gonna have.
I'll move over to give. I'll give Dr. Payne some light.
Okay.
And the other side of this is a tunnel.
Goes as far as we can see.
Other way out.
It goes farther than the light will reach.
Straight line.
At least as far as the light reaches.
It's a rough tunnel, or is like stone?
It's made of stone.
Okay. Might be another way out. Well, where are we going? What'd you find? The trap
a listen roll will help you here.
Oh God. Okay.
I
put my hand to my ear.
Only Dr. Payne can do this normally. The other two are
at
disadvantage.
Yeah,
he's the only one in the hall.
Ooh, 12 out of 20. Holy crap, I made it. I did not expect that.
You can hear lapping water.
I will relay that information to Edgeworth.
Somewhere in the
sewer.
That's either a storm or a sewer. Storm drain or a sewer. Or alternatively, what you're hearing is somewhere down there is the river.
Yeah.
In other words, this may be a means to come out by the river.
There's no stench, right? I mean, it could be very far away, so it wouldn't be. But I don't smell anything that's like, oh, that's going to a sanitary sewer somewhere.
London doesn't have modern sanitary sewers.
Oh, okay.
It has an underground, which is kind of haphazard. Some of them are used as drains. Some of them are used as storm drains. Some of them are used as sewer drains.
Okay.
But for the most part, the city doesn't have a proper sewer system.
Okay.
So what you're almost certainly hearing is the river.
But we don't see. There's nothing in the light that we see, like crates or anything like that. And I'm gonna walk forward a couple steps. I'm gonna rub my foot on the floor. Is it dusty? Does it look like anybody's been here?
The floor is actually smooth. Mm-hmm. The problem here is it's too damp to leave dust.
What about mud?
Not yet.
Okay. So there's
no way of knowing. I bet you'll find mud if you go further.
But there's really no way of knowing if the store's been used very much.
No, not really.
How about
But
the
good bet
door
if it comes
itself?
up
Was
like
the door itself dusty? Do I have dust on my hands after
nope,
pushing it open? Okay.
no.
Okay. I'm
There's
relaying
not
all
much
this
dust.
to
The
to
dampness
Edgeworth.
means less dust.
That's true.
You don't get as much dust in a place that's damp.
Yeah. Okay.
What good bet? If this tunnel accesses the river somewhere, this is essentially an escape route.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too.
Mm.
People could come and go this way, and not be seen.
Where does the trap door go? I'm gonna slip back out. Can I get the door closed behind me?
Oh yeah.
And I'll slip back out from behind the crates.
If you 50-50, that's how some of the thieves come and go.
Yeah. It's not locked or anything, so.
All right.
No. And if you were, let's say, a child, like, say, some of the thieves,
oh, yeah.
it would fit very easily.
So
I would give you even money that some of the thieves come and go like this, so they're not seen entering and leaving the church with stolen goods.
What about that hole? What do you think?
As for the trap door, that's a different issue.
Yeah.
We have two options. We can explore further, or Dr. Payne, you said you had
ether.
Your ether.
Yes, I brought a very large jug of ether.
There are a few barrels of cheap alcohol over there.
Oh, that's not going to burn very well. I brought
alcohol burns at a low temperature.
Do you want to poison the alcohol?
No, I was thinking we could spread the alcohol.
Oh no,
I mean,
it's wine.
The ceiling is wood. Yeah.
Wine won't burn for. Wine burns. Wine won't even catch wood on fire if you use it as an accelerant.
Yeah.
Damn it.
Not really. Liquor doesn't. Liquor burns on top of shit. You know what I mean? Yeah. And it doesn't really.
That's why you can light a drink on fire.
Yeah, or light the bar on fire and have a line of burning liquor, and it's not going to wreck the bar.
I've been misled by Hollywood.
It's a very low temperature fire.
Yeah.
It's not unless you run a line of alcohol to like a pile of gunpowder. That might be effective.
But
that's
a good point. You could use an alcohol trade as a trigger for something that actually explodes.
But I feel like Dr. Payne would know.
That's true.
I have little natural philosophy, but I think I would know that alcohol has a low.
Wine has a low alcohol.
Wine especially, like brandy. Yeah. Even brandy's not going to really damage your floor. If you spill brandy and light that puddle on fire, it could catch and it could eventually spread, but it's not going to be a conflagration.
It's going to burn itself out before it spreads. For the most part, if you ignite brandy on the floor, what you get is a stain.
Yeah. Now, if you have a bottle of gasoline with a lit wick, yes.
Yeah.
So I'll tell him I don't think his plan would work because
gasoline isn't really for sale anywhere.
No, I know. But the low temperature of burning alcohol, especially wine won't burn hot enough to light this place. Do you want to destroy the place?
And this is cheap wine. It's low alcohol content.
Yeah. What's there? Is that important?
I think so, but do we delve deeper is the question.
Yeah.
If we delve.
But you've got two ways to go here still.
We do have an escape route. Yeah. What do you want to do, Edgeworth? This is
you're
the one that wanted to look in the basement.
So we're assuming right now that the tunnel is an escape route.
Yeah, we can get out that way.
That's the most likely scenario based on what you can smell and what you can see and hear.
Right.
If worse
we
comes
don't know
to
that for a fact, but it seems likely.
If worse comes to worse, I pour the ether all over all these crates of food and light the place on fire before we escape. If that's the route you want to go.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking.
Very hot. It's very dangerous.
That's what I meant. Yes. Yes. Do we want to do that now, or do we want to explore deeper?
No.
There's no telling what we'll find down there.
Well, we can't explore deeper if we. Yeah.
All right.
So.
Okay. I mean, I was the one who suggested we come here, so.
So, want to see what's down at the bottom of that the trapdoor then?
I will begin making my way down. Lantern
more
in
than one
hand.
lantern. Yeah, I want to run to the end of that freaking secret passage, find out where it comes out, so we can come back here later if we want to. But I'm not doing that. It'd take too much time. It's going to take too much time anyway. We might do that leaving. I've still got my doctor's bag. I have a gun and a doctor's bag.
Yeah, well, you're going to have to put things down to climb because it is a ladder.
I'll sling the rifle over my back and then climb down. Can I hold the lantern in one hand and climb down with one hand?
Is your dex better than like 40?
Mine
Are you an absolute klutz?
60. I have 60 dex.
If your dex is greater than 40, yes, you can. In other words, unless you're
Okay,
an absolute klutz, you can
I'll
climb
hand the
down with one
lantern
hand
to
like that.
I'll hand the lantern to Dr. Payne.
Okay.
I got the doctor's
Or
bag in my hand.
yeah.
Yeah.
Or you can
I-
even
can
lower
take
the
it.
lantern down.
I'll
I
hand
can
it off
take
to
it.
And I'll hand
Illingsworth.
it to Illingsworth.
Yeah,
No, you
I
hand
can
it to
take
me. I hand it to Illingsworth.
Yep. So the lantern
It's more
passes
of a
along,
chain.
and then you climb down. At the bottom of this, you'll find yourself in what appears to be I guess you'd have to call it a tunnel.
How deep? How far down do we think we went? Was it a
You climb
long
down
ways?
probably 15 feet.
Oh, that's not bad. Okay.
So you're now essentially about 3 stories below ground level.
Mm-hmm.
So you're probably 30 to 40 feet at this point below street level. Here you've got natural rock on one side, but constructed rock on the other. So part of this is a tunnel, which may be a natural fissure. Part of this is a man-made structure. Once you've got the 3 of you down there, and you've got the lantern down there, you'll notice something else. On the artificial side of it, in other words, the thing that looks like it was built as a wall, there's actually something written. I think you read Latin.
Yes.
I don't think I do.
26%.
The Latin, it's in Latin. It says Marcus Gratius was here.
I
And
translate
roughly
Roman.
translated, Celts fuck off.
Okay, so these are Roman. One moment,
This
gentlemen.
was a Roman. What you're looking at is part of a Roman wall.
I'm gonna put down my bag and recock and stuff my gun. I'm going back up the ladder, and at the top,
Okay.
can I pull the trapdoor closed above us?
Yeah, it's got a loop on
And
either
then I
side.
will come back down just in case somebody comes in the basement. And I'll tell them that I did that because I don't want someone to come down into the basement and find.
If they see the trapdoor open, they'll be wondering
That's
who's down
way
there.
more suspicious than that flower wasn't on top of it. So at least maybe if there's another way out this way, we won't even have to come back to the basement.
But what you're looking at down here is what was part of once the walls of Londinium.
Yes. Is it moist down here? Moist.
Oh yeah.
Is it damp? I guess is the word I want.
Yes, and also yes.
Okay. I'm picking my bag up.
This is a bit of Roman architecture.
Are we below the level of the river? We
At
can't
this point,
be.
You might be. It's hard to tell.
What's keeping the water out?
The fact that
Bedrock.
there's no direct connection to the river.
I guess.
Yeah.
As in, if there was a direct connection to the river, this place might flood. But hopefully there is a solid wall between you and the riverbed.
Yes.
It's
It's
would
a
explain
tunnel.
why this place is damp but not flooded.
Old Londinium.
Bedrock's in the way.
All right.
Yeah.
Where's my history? Is there history in? Yeah, there is. I got a whole 5% of history.
Yep. So for those of you with no points in
didn't
history, that's
study.
the extent of your knowledge.
Yeah, I didn't study.
London was once a Roman town.
Yes. Oh wait, the Britons were here first, then the Romans, then the Saxons, then the Normans.
Something like that.
I learned that in elementary school, in primary school.
Yep. Yeah, and of course, occasionally, if you follow this sort of thing or read the newspapers, occasionally someone in London will find a Roman artifact or
Old
part of a
coins or
Roman
something.
structure or coins or some such. So the fact that you've located a Roman structure is that kind of thing happens every couple of years.
Does this have anything to do with Maiden Castle or any of those other? Do you remember Edgeworth? Do you think were Romans dealing with any of these things before? Because I can't recall off the top of my head.
We don't know that the
The
Romans
empires.
ever said anything about that.
Okay, we didn't have any connection with Romans in any of the information we've gotten yet.
Not so far
Right?
now.
Okay.
Not so far, but ancient ruins.
I'm keeping an eye on that trapdoor.
Yep. No one seems to be up there.
Oh, thank God.
Now this tunnel goes in 2 directions.
Left and right, basically.
Well, or right and left, depending on which
Right,
side you're
but
standing on.
The ladder comes down to a
Yeah, in other
tunnel
words-
in the middle of a tunnel somewhere.
Exactly.
And over here it says "fuck off Celts," and I'm Marcus Lutatius or whatever.
Marcus Critias was here, and apparently Marcus Critias would
Doesn't
like the
like
Celts to
Celts.
fuck off right now.
Okay, so, and yeah, wait a minute.
That's very Roman.
Okay,
Writing obscenities
I'm gonna try
on the
to
wall is
do-
super Roman.
I'm gonna try to do a little bit of navigation in my head. We came down the stairs. The ladder was on this side.
Okay.
Which
Any
means
of you who want to can make a navigation roll.
I don't want to make
And that-
it. I want to just know. The tunnel goes here. I'm
Well,
trying to
the best you can do with that is figure out what cardinal direction you're in.
Yeah, that's all I
or
really am
possibly
looking
which
for.
tunnel goes toward or away from the river.
Yeah, because the church faces east, west. The church faces west, right? Or south?
No, the church's front entrance is to the east.
Oh, church faces east. So which way is this tunnel going cardinal direction-wise?
That's what a navigation roll will tell you.
Damn it. Okay. I will try that, because No, 39 out of 10.
And that's
I thought-
true, by the way, of anyone
Oh.
who wishes to do so.
And that, I'm going to mention that. I was like, anyone, do you know which directions these are going based on the church facing east? And I will
Right.
do some of my calculations on the fact that we came in the back,
Okay.
came down the steps that were on the right side.
Oh, I guess.
So
okay.
then there was the ladder, which was on this side of this trapdoor. I
Nope.
remember that because I was looking at the door the secret door. Okay, so we don't know. Damn it.
Yeah, you've got yourselves turned around a bit.
Yeah.
What we do know is that Limehouse is north of the river.
Right.
So if one of these tunnels runs south, it would run toward the river.
Hold on. Can I at least know the direction of these tunnels compared to that tunnel that I found up above?
Yeah. Except we don't know if that other tunnel turns before it reaches the river.
Oh, that's true.
Hmm.
I'm going to assume that tunnel goes straight.
If you assume that tunnel goes straight,
Just which direction?
then
Is
this
it parallel or
is
perpendicular?
east-west. This
But I
one
mean-
would be east-west if it's true that the other one is straight.
But no.
Problem
But
is there's no way to know that.
is it, if the other tunnel is straight and it's heading south? Okay, it's heading south. That makes this one going perpendicular to.
That would make this one east-west,
Okay.
yes.
Well, that's something.
If that's true.
Right. Exactly.
But that could be based
And it
on
might
the
not even be
faulty
going south, but this is perpendicular to that tunnel. So at least we've got that information. That's more than nothing. Not much, but okay. I'll mention that to them, that I think that this runs perpendicular to the tunnel we found above. And if that goes south to the river, this is an east-west tunnel. But
the other tunnel might have a corner in it
I didn't even think about that, so my character doesn't even mention
because you didn't see the river.
Right.
So you could, for all you know, that other tunnel could also go east and then makes a left turn at some point.
Yeah.
To
Okay.
get to the river.
Hmm.
I'm assuming it goes south.
So
Which way?
Yeah, so
Edgeworth?
I
no
think
way
it's
to know
a coin
that.
flip, unfortunately.
I'll flip it.
yeah, because the light shows you nothing down either way.
Let's head down the corridor with the graffiti. That is not a word yet, I bet. Let's head down the corridor with the Roman
yeah, it is.
inscription.
Yeah, no, I believe graffiti is the right term for it.
Is it? Is it? Was it? Okay. Then I say that.
Yeah.
Why not? As good as any. Let's try that way first.
Actually, I don't know quite how far back the word graffiti goes, but I know it's used to describe things like ancient graffitis.
Right.
'Cause one of the things that survives from the ancient world is the reason we know that is because the Romans were fond of writing things on the wall.
Looks like the term graffiti first appeared in 1850 by use by archaeologists and antiquaries around 1850. So that word
so
probably
not
is
quite-
not being used yet.
so
The
not quite
Roman
yet.
inscription is what I'll say then. Let's just
Yeah.
go that way.
Yeah, because they wrote
Why
that on
not?
the wall. Incidentally, I don't know if you ever seen the graffitis from Pompeii, but some of
Oh,
them
yeah.
are fucking hilarious.
I believe it.
Although, honestly, my absolute favorite is one from a grave marker. It's a Roman gravestone that reads, "Here lies," I forgot the guy's name, "such and such the boxer. This monument was put up by his grateful opponents, to whom he never did any harm." That is not a compliment if you're a boxer.
No.
Roman fuck you in this. They were super fond of shit like that. But yeah, the graffiti does point you in a direction at least.
Yeah, let's go the
So
graffiti
follow
way.
that tunnel.
Is my suggestion.
You'll actually find several more readable inscriptions.
Oh.
Several of them that are still readable, read things like one of them reads, "What are we doing here?"
Oh.
Another one informs you that Marcus Gratius is an asshole.
No an idea of like his rank or anything.
Given people complaining about him, I guess he
He's
was
an
in charge
officer.
of something.
Yeah, okay. Or, yeah, okay. I'm just
It-
translating
it-
these
yeah.
that I can translate without a check as
easily.
we go.
That's that whole rule of 25 thing.
I'm going
It's
to,
a short sentences.
Yeah.
Makes them easy to read if you have these 25.
I'm
in
counting
mind.
my steps too. If I can try to keep track of that. I kind of want to have an idea of how far we've traveled.
Yep. You think you've gone maybe 300 yards
Oh my God. Okay.
when following the wall, and there are places where the wall vanishes and then reappears. In other words, the weight of the city above it has cracked some of this wall to the point where the wall is gone. In other places, it survives because there's buildings above it.
300 yards along the river.
So this was
Okay.
once the Roman wall that now two or three layers of structure above it. And then you come to a point where there's actually steps.
Oh no. Which way
They
are
go
they
downward
going?
and culminate in what appears to be a basically small square chamber with 4 relief columns that mark its edges.
Mm.
This one, again, a piece of graffiti, but here it doesn't make any sense. In other words, the letters are the same. They're Latin letters, but the word doesn't mean anything in Latin.
I let them know.
In other words, this looks like either it is random letters, it's a proper name, perhaps translated from Celtic, or it's a code of some kind.
Okay.
But it's not a word.
Can I sit? No.
This is a dead end.
Anyway,
This appears to be the end of this end of the tunnel, this square chamber.
we look around, see if there's anything obstructed from view, and like.
There's once you actually enter, you realize there is something here. There's a little pile of stuff against one wall. Those are bones,
Oh.
bits of metal.
I guess I will examine them as the physician. If they're human bones, I should easily recognize them.
Oh yeah, these are very clearly. This is the remains of a human being.
In
There's
armor?
also that could be what the metal was, because there are a number of now badly rusted or verdigrised metal clasps
Mm-hmm.
that are probably all that's left of a set of armor.
Roman
Leather
armor?
would long have rotted away,
Yeah.
so there's no clothing, no cloth material, but bits and pieces of metal that were probably once the fastenings for armor.
Okay.
Underneath the figure
Yeah. I'll look through
is
these
a
bones.
verdigrised sword. That's a Roman gladius.
Oh boy. It's all rusted and wrecked, right?
Oh, it's in bad shape,
Yeah.
given what it's been exposed to. But it's in basically. You should make an intelligence roll.
Oh, okay. I'm showing it to them. I'm not picking it up
Yeah.
yet, but I'm pointing it out as I've moved.
I mean,
the
everybody
bones
can
around.
see this.
Oh no, big fail. 81 out of 55.
Actually,
know
you guys
nothing.
probably can too. Now that you're seeing it,
Yeah, I'm
it has to do with the location of the sword.
Oh, is it pointing? I haven't moved it. I don't want to touch it. I'm afraid I'm going to cut myself.
I got a regular
let's see.
success.
Okay.
Intelligence, regular success.
Okay. The sword is inside the rib cage.
Oh, like somebody killed him with it?
Oh,
Yeah. In other words, once the flesh and the cloth and everything else rot away, this weapon killed this man.
Yeah.
He was stabbed in the gut, and he died.
left here underground.
So either
Or-
he was murdered or this was a suicide.
No way to tell. The bones are all muddled.
Well, there's clearly one set of remains here.
Right.
The
Oh.
bone, and that's the things that suggest suicide.
Yeah,
There's
because
the
why
bones
would you
have
leave
not
your
been
sword behind?
disturbed
Mhm.
in a way that suggests a struggle.
Okay. Plus, why would you
So
leave your
this really
sword behind
suggests-
if
yeah.
you killed somebody? You would
Yeah,
keep
this
the
suggests
sword.
suicide, not murder. But whoever this man was, he committed suicide with that sword. Stabbed himself in the stomach and died.
Do you think there's a secret door here? A hidden panel?
You're welcome to make a spot hidden roll if you like.
I will begin examining, looking for
I'll look
any
around
kind
too.
of
Why not?
indoors, loose
No.
brick.
41 out of 25 is a
Ooh.
fail.
I got a hard success for a spot hidden.
You would think this
Okay.
long.
Very nice.
If these are Romans, it's 1,000 years ago or more. It's like a long time ago. I don't know.
Failure on my
exact-
part.
Yep. What's that? So one success.
Fail.
Fail.
Okay, so just
Hard success.
one hard
Nice.
success. Okay, two things. Firstly, a bit of graffiti you probably missed before
Okay.
that says
Yeah, I'll point that out. Say I can't read it.
I'll transcribe it if I can.
it says essentially end here, as in this is as far as they went, and they must, which implies they found this when building the wall. Two, there's
Why did he kill
another
himself?
bit of meaningless string of letters. So there's two meaningless strings of letters.
Hmm.
Three, on the remnants of the man, what you took at first to be a bone,
Mhm.
that's not a bone, it's a tube.
There you go, Edgeworth or Illingsworth. You noticed that? I haven't. I'm still
It's
like
still
tapping
sealed.
at the walls and trying to find a secret button or a
Okay.
lever. Yes, lever.
This seems to be the end. Like the Romans dug into this place and found it here. But
Yeah, I'll point out. Say what's that tube there amongst the bones?
yeah, because that it's made of bone, but it is a tube, not a bone.
Oh, okay. So yeah, no,
Because
one
that
of those
one has
bones.
that one has a wax seal on top.
Oh,
Yeah.
So unless this guy had one of his bones had been sealed with wax while he was alive, that's not a bone.
oh.
All right.
Well, Illingsworth, you found it. Open her up.
All right.
I'll stand over here out of blast radius.
Oh.
No, I don't say that. Obviously.
Are you actually? The
Yeah.
thing is still sealed.
I'll crack the wax seal.
Wait, was there?
Remove
Okay.
it.
Oh well, too late. I was gonna ask if what the seal looked like.
Well, I'm assuming it's wax. He's just like trying to pop it off. If he can like remove it all.
I have no
Solidly.
idea if you can.
With a dex roll, you can remove it with
Ooh.
minimal damage.
Nice. I was.
Okay.
I'll mention that though once he starts messing. After he messes with it.
I rolled almost an extreme success.
Nice.
So it's just a hard success.
What's the seal?
You can remove it. You can remove the seal with minimal damage
Nice.
to it.
Is it?
So
is it-
I'll hand him the seal then. Like
I'll look at it. Is there anything? Is it like a seal, or is it just wax was used to cover it?
Oh no, it's a seal.
Oh,
Like someone used a seal on this.
The symbol on it.
yeah. Is there a symbol?
It's hard to make it out.
Yeah.
It appears to be
dark.
a human head, and there is some lettering around the edge of it.
I'll show it to Connor. The lettering, is it legible?
Not really.
Okay.
Not after all this time.
Yeah.
Which the head is
Mm.
probably a depiction of a god or goddess.
Here, put
So
this
this
in
is
your,
probably
put this in your pocket.
this is almost certainly Roman, but
Yeah.
it would be hard. The wax itself is not in great shape, so it's going to be hard to get the lettering out of it. It might be possible to do a rubbing of it to get a better idea of what the letters are.
A rubbing of wax, though.
Yeah,
How do you
basically
do that?
pouring something into it to discolor the wax
Oh,
and
okay. Well,
seeing if the lettering will come out that way.
I hand it to
Possible.
I
Connor
barely,
so he can.
yeah,
I
because I
love
hang on to it.
recognize any significance to the symbol like of the human head.
It's common.
Mm.
You could offhand think of a dozen Roman coins that look the same way. And you really need to see what the
Impressive.
text.
Oh, so it's like a Caesar, like a. Is it? It's like a profile.
Yeah.
profile.
Okay.
Yeah, it shows the human head in profile. If you've ever seen a Roman coin, you have
Yep.
a good sense of what you're looking at here. And notice how many Roman coins have writing on them.
Like all
It's
of
the
them.
writing you
So
really
someone
need.
might have pressed a coin into the wax to seal it.
Right.
All
Good bet
right.
that's exactly
That-
what happened.
I am going to tip the tube over into my hand.
Okay, and inside is essentially a scroll.
Okay.
What you've got is a page of text in Latin.
I say, does the paper look fragile or whatever? Like
Oh hell yeah!
yeah, okay. So
This thing's got to be 1,500 years old.
yeah, at this point he's probably just gonna like
Sorry.
up it and maybe hold it like
What do you find? A scroll?
yeah.
Without a scroll.
Oh gosh.
The page of
Perhaps,
text in Latin.
perhaps we should. Oh, it's in Latin. Okay, so that's me again, right?
Of course it is.
I
Who
speak
do you think
Latin
wrote it?
too. I've got
Oh,
a
do you
40
have
in it.
Latin? Oh no, you're better than
Yeah.
I have a
me.
40.
I just have
Yeah,
enough
who
to
do
get me through medical school.
Who do you think wrote it? This guy's judging by his equipment. He's a Roman. What the hell language do you think he was going to write it?
Right.
Yeah. But I didn't realize Edgeworth. You start reading it out loud to us.
If
Or
I
translating.
may unfurl it, I unfurl it and take it into the light to see.
Is it parchment?
I make out.
What's that?
Or vellum? Is it parchment or vellum?
Well, it appears to be parchment.
Parchment lasts a long time, I think, if I remember correctly.
It does.
Paper doesn't
Vellum
last.
lasts well too.
Vellum lasts a long time.
Paper Romans never knew.
Right.
Paper
Okay, nice. Okay,
later.
cool.
Papyrus.
This is what you'll notice here is that what you're looking at is what appears to be a letter.
Dear Martha, the front is terrible.
The address 2 at the top is someone named Lucius Quintus Caecus. So Lucius Quintus the Blind. Although blind may be just a family surname at this point. In the same way that people named Smith don't necessarily work with metal. You know, how many people are named Smith who've never been near a forge?
Mm-hmm.
The gist of the letter is essentially, it's from Marcus Gratius Severinus. Apparently that's your man, Marcus Gratius. Full name, Marcus Gratius Severinus. In other words, the man who wrote the first graffiti, who the others were complaining about, this is him.
This is essentially the leader, or some kind of higher up.
And what he says in so many words is, I don't understand what the Celts did. I saw the thing. It came from the sky. There was nothing we could do. I saw their men. There were 8 of them. And then he corrects himself. 4 of them were women. I couldn't fight them. My limbs did not move. I found their temple. I could not name their gods, although I tried. And then he closes with, recommend my son Julius to you and help him in his career if this letter never reaches, if I never return.
Is it signed?
Yeah, Marcus Gratius Severinus.
But who's it? And it's dated.
He's
Okay.
addressed it to,
Lucius.
to someone called Lucas Quintus Caecus.
Okay.
And Caecus must be someone influential, because the last thing he's talking about is how he wants Caecus to help his son.
Mm-hmm.
Saying, basically, if I never make it back, and this letter does, do for my son what I won't be able to do because I'm dead.
8.
Help
This
him.
letter never made it
8 of
back.
them.
No, the letter never did.
What gave that away?
The fact that it's still here?
Dr. Payne is being a little facetious. He's
That's
reeling
so-
under the weight of history that is bearing down upon his head right now.
So now we do have a connection to the Romans.
Why didn't they
And-
take this?
What do you want to bet that one of those bits of letters is his attempt to pronounce something like Zathaqua?
Oh, that makes sense.
Oh,
No wonder it doesn't make any sense in Latin. He's trying to write a word that isn't Latin in Latin letters.
mm-hmm.
He's trying to write something he heard and doesn't know how to spell.
Right. So we have found a way out.
Yeah. Do we head down the other way now?
This has been.
I look towards
the-
Edgeworth,
the-
actually. This is his ball game
This
right
has
now.
been done before. This has been done before. Men have been in the same situation that we've been in. These Celts mentioned in this text, and I read it out loud
Yeah.
as best I could. They encountered a Zathaqua cult.
No, the Celts were the Zathaqua
No.
cult.
Yeah.
The
No, no, no,
Romans.
yeah, that's what I mean. The Romans encountered a Zathaqua cult here.
And he
This
said
is-
there was
this is a
there was
repeating
In
cycle.
this place.
nothing he could do.
Yes.
He also
No,
suggests that this
limb
place
stuff.
was a temple of Zathaqua.
This little room. How big is this
Yeah.
room?
no more than about 10 or 15 feet across.
You said there were reliefs carved around?
Four colonnaded carvings.
What do they look like?
In other words, it looks as if those are columns that hold up a roof,
Mm-hmm.
but in fact they don't. And if
Yeah,
you
it's
actually give them a
decorative.
little more look,
Yes, please.
what's left of the carvings, and given how damp it is down here, it's hard to be certain, what's left of the carvings has scroll work in it, suggesting that either you're looking at some kind of essentially Celtic scroll work,
Yeah, that's what I was
or
pointing
these are
out.
maybe designed to be something like trees rather than columns. Like what if those are branches and leaves?
Druids. It was the Druids.
Well,
Who speaks Celtic?
Marcus Vertius never said that, but what do we actually know about Druids?
Not much.
But there's
Very
a local
little.
cult have existed among them too.
All right.
I mean,
we should
we've
look
seen
the other direction as quickly as we can.
If Maiden Castle is evidence, the cult has existed in England since the Stone Age. If the Gratias
Damn you,
letter is
Baker!
evidence, the cult has existed in the Celtic time, and the Romans encountered it. In other words, it's been here, and if this was a temple of Anzilu or Zothaqua or whatever the fuck it is that part of why they wanted the church up there? In other words, did they put those rungs in?
Oh yeah, they did. The rungs are way too new for anybody else to have done it. They'd be
They came
rusty.
down
It's
here to
going to
find-
take less than a year to start rusting those, and they're perfect, right?
They're not perfect, but they're newish. In
They've
other words,
been here for a few
they've been
months
here-
at most.
they've been here. Well, they may have been here longer if someone's cleaning them.
Oh no! We get back and we find Liza.
Or they're getting used.
Yeah, they see regular
All right.
use and regular maintenance.
Let's quick look the other way, and then
Other way.
to get out of
Now,
here.
of course, one of the things these folks probably did was they probably missed the letter because of how hard it was to spot.
Mhm.
Oh yeah, yeah. Ooh,
So they
There was something else. There was something else here that they found.
there's no
we came here
dust. Too
second.
moist to tell. Is there
You
any way to
found-
tell if something else was
in other
here?
words, you found something that the members of the church have never seen.
Right, but here's a question.
Mhm.
Edgeworth thinks there was something else here that they did see and take. Is there any
Was there something else
indication?
here? Sorry, I'm making declarative statements.
I think
Yeah,
that's
no,
what you
there's
meant, right?
No, although they
No,
may
but-
have understood what this place is.
Was there anything else here? Are there markings on the floor, scratches or anything
Yeah.
where something heavy might have been? Okay.
No.
But they might have, yeah. I'm going to but when we realize that the cult has been here, I'm going to as quickly as I can, I don't want to stay here very long, get the bones kind of back in the same little, at least so it looks like they haven't been disturbed.
Okay, and leave the sword there then where it was.
Yes, we're going to leave, I would suggest it.
And I will hand Edgeworth the scroll case, essentially, if he wants to put the scroll back into it.
I'll put the scroll back in the scroll case if you'll let me take the seal.
Are you taking that
Just-
with you?
Yeah.
I say we take. Yeah, I definitely say we take it with us,
Well, it
regardless.
doesn't. Yeah, let's go. Let's head back the other way.
Yeah.
Okay.
Keeping an eye out for any lights ahead.
Okay, so you'll pass the ladder,
Yes.
and now you're moving in the other direction
Yes.
along the wall. And this end, hello.
Oh God.
What's that?
Hello. There's a person there. He's 12 feet
no.
tall. He
Min-
comes
min-
at you
min-
with fists of steel.
It's the wife.
I know.
Yeah,
I know
no,
that
Min-
now, but at the time
Yeah.
I didn't know what was going on in it.
Right. Say I was
No,
so. I was like, oh.
Min was out with a friend at Dave and Buster's and just came back. Did you have fun?
Yes,
Excellent.
That's
Okay.
good.
my arm hurts.
Skee ball?
Skee ball and the plate breaking game.
Gotcha. Cool. Yeah, that. Anyway, so the other end. Again, this one is shorter. You'll only go
thank
about
God.
60 or 70 yards
Okay.
before you'll run into what looks like it was at one point a blockhouse. In other words, this is a point on the wall that was intended as a essentially a strong point. It is partially collapsed, which is to say you can't go further here without excavation. You would need to move fallen stone to attempt to advance further. You've got what's left of this place, part you can enter, a couple of stone what are clearly benches, and indentations in the wall that were probably once supporting a rack to hold weapons.
Okay.
Any more graffiti?
Yeah, there's several more complaints about Marcus Gradius. There's someone pointing out that we don't again, we don't belong here. Another one who says the gods here hate us. And then another hand is added, and I hate them. So one person wrote the gods here hate us, and then someone else added to it, I hate them too. So the second writer agreeing with the first one. Like posting on a wall, as it were.
Right.
Hey, like people still do. So someone is commenting on someone's original post. And then further down, there's another point of agreement there where someone is agreeing with the commenter. Who says, I hate them too, when someone else says, you're wise too. So apparently these guys were aware of a problem. And based on what you get from the graffiti, their problem was this is their assignment. So they couldn't just pack up and leave, even if they wanted to.
But there's no other way then to like ascend or head like to the ground surface from this blockhouse, essentially.
Yeah, you'd need shovels and picks to go any further.
Okay.
We found what we were looking for. We should make our way.
Just collapsed this part here.
Bad news. Ether wasn't really used till the Civil War, so I probably don't have any. So let's erase all the ether stuff.
Well, it was known as early as like 1780.
Was it?
So
I'll take that. Yeah. I'll take it. It's there as
whether it was used, not many people used it for medical purposes. But I believe ether was developed in the 1780s.
Oh, let's find out.
Or at least some forms of it. Like I know Joseph Priestley worked with it, and he died in 1804. Antoine Lavoisier.
1540. Sweet vitriol.
Yeah.
Well, that was only till 1730. So yeah, it's known as ether. Yeah. Okay, I have some. I don't know why I have it. It's just there. It was there. Maybe we use it for embalming fluid or something.
Yeah, it can be used for a bunch of different things.
Okay.
According to this here, apparently one version it was used as a smelling salt, essentially.
Oh, sweet! Then it would have a reason to have it. I don't know why I have so much.
There were medical practitioners who made use of it, generally less for anesthesia and more for other reasons.
And super poisonous. And if I throw it in your face, it's not going to be pleasant.
If you've got a jar, that's probably your entire supply.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, it is.
In other words, you poured several small bottles into a jar.
Yeah, I really overstocked on ether. I thought it could be useful. I thought there were going to be more people swooning when I first started my medical profession.
Yep.
What can I say? There weren't.
And it doesn't go bad.
So sorry.
Easily, so,
Yeah, sorry to interrupt. So
anyway,
aside from a little graffiti, this is an old blockhouse.
Yeah.
Nothing.
No way to go further here without picks and shovels.
Right. Okay, let's get out of here.
Yeah.
Right, let's go.
Yeah, no. Those rungs are clearly there because of the Temple of Azazil.
Yeah.
Which is that small structure down there.
Let's go.
Also, you're welcome to make a history roll if you like.
Oh, sure.
This is true of everybody. I don't know if any of you have any real points in it.
Just say
5%.
My big
baby.
whopping 5%.
Come on, Edgeworth. You should know some history. Oh, 50. I thought it was an 05 for a second, but it's a 50.
I did a 23.
Okay, well,
That's so
well
sad.
done. I rolled a D8 instead of a D100. That shows how tired I am.
You're always tired. Graham, get some sleep.
I try.
I'm tired too.
79, so a failure, unfortunately.
Yeah, no. And honestly, that's okay. I mean, if we don't get to the end of this particular scenario tonight, because Josh isn't here.
Yeah.
So I am completely okay with not wrapping things up this time, so that he doesn't miss the fun.
There's too many loose ends unless we go up assassinate Reverend Brown and then go find Billy Ludd and assassinate him.
Well,
that's pretty much our only option to end the scenario right now. Is just murder a bunch of people, and
which is an option. I don't know if it's a good.
Yeah,
one,
it's not a good.
Option. I'm not here to judge.
I'm terrified of Billy Ludd right now.
Anyway,
can we get out of here? Let's just get out of here.
Yeah. Now, if you don't want to go back through the church, you could try the escape tunnel.
I do want to try the escape
I do too.
tunnel.
I want to see where it comes out so we can find it later in case we do want to come back.
I mean,
secretly.
say my
So-
my size
No, it won't.
is-
It won't matter. We'll move the
Okay.
crates just a little, enough to get them through, and
Okay.
then I'll go through last
Mhm.
and pull the crates back.
Okay.
I've got a decent strength of 65, so
That'll be enough to move that easily.
I should be able to move that back so it's as close to where
Yeah.
it will. I think it was as before, and then I'll close the door behind us. If we have to come
So-
back through the cellar because there's not actually an escape route, there's bars or whatever. That's fine. But let's see where this comes out in case we want to use it.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
it'll be about an hour of navigation, including a couple of dead ends.
This tunnel, this
Before-
terrible tunnel. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because there are dead ends here. You'll
Crap,
find
crap,
another
crap.
tunnel
Before we go
that comes
far,
up in.
I want to run back. I'm going to put this flour sack back on that trapdoor, and then I'm
Okay.
going to make our escape. So
Okay.
everything looks about the same as it did when we came in. I think.
As close to it
Sorry.
as you can.
I just
No
thought of
worries.
that. And then
Aside
an hour of searching.
You'll actually find 3 exits for this tunnel. The first one is a ladder that comes up to a trapdoor. I don't know that you want to open that one because you can hear people and music above you.
Yeah.
That's
I
okay.
think you're under a tavern.
Yeah.
Ooh. But we've traveled
So-
quite a distance, probably.
You're moving
Correct.
toward the river, no doubt.
Okay.
So this is a tavern, probably near the river.
Mhm.
A second entrance you can actually use right now if you want to. This one comes up in what is basically a whole street drain. And if you
A what?
stick your head up there, a drain in the street.
Oh, a drain. I thought you said a train.
And
I
if you stick
almost,
your head up, and if you stick your head up and look around, it looks like you've come out around Marvel Street, near Peak Street. So this is basically a street entrance.
How is it hidden?
It's not. It's just a hole in it's basically just the opening in the street. So the downside of this is anyone might see you coming and going.
Let's go back and find out if there's any other exits. If we can explore this
You hadn't-
place
You hadn't
thoroughly.
reached the end of the tunnel yet.
Let's keep going. I'd love to have a
Third-
nice secret.
Yeah.
Oh god, that
He
scares
said
me.
he'd be back in a moment.
That always scares me when somebody turns their camera off and everybody shifts. It's always like,
The third one comes out by the river.
I was going to
This
say,
one comes out in basically a drainage culvert where the lower part of it has water flowing down toward the river. And then on either side of it, it's taller so you can walk without getting wet.
is it a place we
This
can
one-
exit without being seen easily?
Oh, yeah. This is a way out.
yeah.
There's also the culvert itself has what's essentially a makeshift ramp at one end, which implies people come down here regularly.
Hmm.
And I would not be at all surprised, given this part of the world. This feels like a great place to get rid of a body.
We're right off the Thames, right?
Yeah, just
Yeah.
throw it right into the river and
Yeah.
bye-bye body.
Okay.
Like, in case you feel the need to get rid of a body,
Or
before
like
the
if you're
police show up.
smuggling equipment or supplies or something like that, that's probably also another good access tunnel for that.
Yeah, a boat could stop here and offload smuggled goods. Or pick up a fugitive, for instance, if someone wants to escape in a boat. This is a great
Right.
place, basically, to either throw things into the river or meet someone in a boat for any purpose.
But we
your
know the
perspective-
locations of 2 of the exits then.
Well, you know one at Peak Street.
Right.
You can guess at
this
the
one.
second one. And this one, which is right on the waterfront.
Right, but the second one, wherever the tavern is, we're not sure at all because we couldn't see
Yeah.
anything. We just
Exactly.
guessed it was probably a tavern because people were, yeah.
You heard sounds, so we're assuming it's a
Okay.
tavern. Here you are, as far as you can tell, you are somewhere near, to your left, is Paper Mill Wharf.
Okay.
And the culvert itself comes up on Narrow Street. Which, fun fact, is not as narrow as the name implies.
Okay. These are still in some terrible neighborhoods, right?
Oh, yeah. Well, listen, Narrow Street was a lot narrower when they named it. 300 years ago.
Yeah.
Nobody's changed the name since.
But it's narrow
Much
now.
the same way that Wall Street no longer has a defensive wall around it. And Battery Park is no longer a home to a battery of guns. But nobody's changed the name since.
I like the name
Right.
Battery Park.
It's a cool name, but the point is the name originally referred to a battery of defensive guns. Those are long gone, but the thing is still called Battery Park.
Okay.
Mhm.
We're out,
Same
Edgeworth. We
principle.
escaped.
Narrow Street
Wonderful.
is an easy way. Basically, Narrow Street runs along the river and takes you out of Limehouse if you wish.
Yes, let's do that.
So you can join the flood of traffic on Narrow Street and
Yeah.
make your way anywhere you want to go.
I'm wearing rugged clothing anyway. We
And
should.
of course, Limehouse being what it is, there are street vendors, there's traffic, that sort of thing.
And I tell them that I've got. When I talked to Reverend Brown, something I didn't mention before, is I have Billy Ludd's address.
Yep.
And I
yeah.
give it to them.
You're not far. You're actually not far from it.
Oh God.
You're maybe a 5-minute walk from Gretchen Close.
What is it, like 3 PM? We fiddled underground. I talked to the. It was 2, so it's probably closer to 4.
Right now,
Tea
it's,
time.
it's about tea time.
So Billy Ludd lives at this address, I tell them, and this gun has gone away. It's tucked back into my belt under my jacket.
Yep. So you could reach Billy's apartment in about 5 minutes time if you want.
Yes, I'm looking at
where you
Edgeworth.
are.
Do you want to talk to Billy Ludd? No, you shouldn't. Illingsworth, maybe. Well, I did get his address, so I should stop in and see how he's doing. As I was concerned, I still am. I am.
That's a good
very
idea.
concerned.
That's a good idea. We can be waiting outside within earshot, and you can scream if there's an issue, and we can barge in.
If there's
guns
an issue,
blazing.
you'll probably hear a gunshot. At least one.
Okay.
Let's go
Well, in
visit
that case-
Billy Ludd.
Sure.
They'll find their place to hide in a tavern across the street that has familiar music playing from it.
No. Actually, yeah. No, seriously, might be the same place.
That might be the same place. Oh my goodness.
The
Okay.
signboard shows a pelican.
I'm putting that with a
So,
question mark.
I'm guessing that's the Pelican Tavern.
Yeah.
And it is basically across the street from Gretchen Close. As for Billy's place,
Yes.
getting to it is easy. Getting into it is going to prove a bit problematic.
Oh, that's fine.
Not because it's locked or any such thing, but rather because Gretchen Close is filled with people.
Oh, that's okay. Are there beggars?
These are not beggars. These are fans.
Oh crap! These are people. Wait, are these people from Old Vicar Lane that I
Yeah,
recognize?
You'll recognize a few of them.
Oh,
They've come to see Billy. They're waiting in line to see Billy.
they're waiting in line.
Yeah. And in fact, you'll catch that very quickly because when you walk in, somebody actually shouts at you to go to the back of the queue.
I'm sorry. I'm a doctor. I'm here to examine Billy to make sure he's sound.
And from the front of the line, he's expecting you.
No,
a larger, rugged-looking woman who's apparently now the doorkeeper.
I will walk up to her out of the line. I don't want to cut and piss
Yep.
everybody off. I will say hello to
you
the
came
people
very
that I
close to
know.
pissing people off by
I will
cutting
say
the line.
I will say hello to people that I know.
Okay.
And I will
that
say
actually
yes.
helps because now you've established credentials.
I'm Dr. Payne. I'm not exactly with the church, but I'm a physician who has been aiding the church and certain people from Old Vicar Lane. I was hoping
several
to
people
see.
in the line, by the way, will coordinate that. Like, yeah, what he says is true.
And I was merely hoping to check and see how Billy's health is.
Oh, right then, says the woman. Come on up then.
Yes, Dr. Fletcher Payne. Do I get her name? Gretchen? Or does she say, or does she not care?
No, you will get her name.
Oh, great.
She calls herself Alice.
Alice.
And
Oh,
most
that's all I
everyone
know.
knows this is Alice Ludd.
Okay.
That's Billy's mother.
Oh, does she look crazy
At
too?
the moment, also Billy's doorkeeper.
Okay. Now here's a question: have I seen her at the church? Do I recognize her as
An
someone?
intelligence roll will tell you
Okay.
that. You met a lot of people there. You recognize
Yeah, I
her
know.
face.
Ooh, 03. I recognize everybody in this line. She's a
and
member of the
including her.
church. Okay.
Yeah,
But this
she's
is out of
there.
Old Vicar Lane, right?
You're nearby. Not everyone lives on Old Vicar Lane. Some
Okay,
people
okay.
live nearby.
Oh God, the cult's all over the place. I thought it was limited to just Old Vicar Lane. Okay.
I'm pretty sure most of them live in Limehouse, for whatever that's worth.
Well, yeah, but Limehouse consists of quite a few terrible places.
It does.
Yes. I hope my friends can see me going into this house. I'm
I'm
terrified.
sure they can.
Mm-hmm.
Very well. Yes. Yes,
And
Mrs. Ludd.
So you'll climb a rickety flight of stairs to the 3rd floor,
Yes, got my doctor's bag.
and there you'll find Billy Ludd. Billy is sitting in an armchair in a otherwise decrepit apartment.
Mm-hmm.
In other words, he's holding court like he's a king.
Oh.
Although
no.
his throne is a armchair, a broken armchair that looks like the stuffing's been kicked out of it in a literal sense. He doesn't have a crown, although he does have a nice hat, which looks new.
How
So
many
apparently
flights?
someone bought him a hat.
How many flights up have we gone?
3. He's on the 3rd floor.
Damn, that's really
Wow.
high. Okay.
I guess technically he's on what the British would call the 2nd floor.
Right.
Right.
We would call it the 3rd floor.
Is he in a room that's facing towards the front of the house, like in kind of the direction my comrades might be?
Yeah, if you like. Sure.
Yeah, I would like. Okay.
Yeah. His clothing is new too, by the way. Like
Oh.
he's wearing a nice suit. His neckcloth is silk. Like people have clearly pooled their money to buy him gifts.
Oh my god. Okay. Oh my god. Okay.
Like he's looking sharp.
As we're entering the room, but before we approach Billy, I whisper to Mrs. Ludd. I say, "How is he referred to?"
You're talking about my Billy
Billy? He's still called Billy.
most of the time.
Very well. I was under the impression that he was also called Azazil, and I did not want to call him by the incorrect name. That is all.
Dr. Azazil is with us and within us and without.
Ah,
Didn't
yes.
the Reverend explain that?
The
It's
Reverend
in all
also
places.
explained that though none of us is above another,
Right.
something like this has never happened before.
Not to our knowledge, no.
Yes.
But I take it where I can, and if they want to make Billy out to be such a thing,
Oh, yes.
where's the harm in it?
How does he like to be referred to? Just Billy? Is Billy? Oh,
Billy will do.
oh, very good, very good. I didn't want to step on any toes.
No, quite.
I just nod I'm going where she takes me at this
Yeah,
juncture.
and when you get to the door, he actually like waves you in, like he's seeing like it's an audience.
Ah,
So he's
very
already
well.
begun to
Oh,
accept the idea that he's
so
king.
he's already acting like a king. Okay.
Oh,
So
God, yeah.
am I alone in here with him and her?
No. Well, Mrs. Ludd goes to the kitchen,
Okay.
asking if you'd like some tea, and she's going to go get some.
Oh, quite.
The only other person here is another woman. This is a younger woman. She is standing next to his chair,
Like his queen.
or some such. Not sure
Okay.
what their relationship is.
Concubine.
Actually, based on their on her physical features, possibly a sister,
Mm.
because there's some resemblance here.
Okay.
So maybe a younger sister. She looks like she's younger than him, probably no more than 14 or 15.
Okay.
Don't think about setting me up with her.
14 or 15?
Little young.
Yeah, that's still a little young.
Yeah, she's
Not in this time
watching.
period.
She's watching the proceedings, basically leaning on the back of his chair.
Okay. Okay. I will approach his throne.
Yep.
And kind of give him a little bow.
That gets a smile from him.
Ah, yes. How are you feeling, Billy?
Never better.
Oh, I was hoping to examine you. Medically.
No need.
I understand
I feel like a god.
Oh. Well, that's good.
Zeus has nothing on me.
Oh, how witty. That's very witty.
Zeus is a god, right?
Yes,
And he actually looks up at his sister.
Oh,
who
he's
nods
asking
like,
her.
yep.
He's asking her. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm not
Yeah.
going to say anything then.
Yeah, apparently he's checking with her to make sure he used the right name, and Zeus is in fact a god.
Yes, even the gods had physicians. The Greek gods did, if I remember correctly.
Is that? And he looks up at her again, and she's like, Apparently, her knowledge of mythology is not that deep.
I think they did. My
They
history's
did,
not
yeah,
great
but
either.
her knowledge of mythology is
Yes,
not that
yes,
deep.
yes.
I'm perfectly fine. I'm glad to see you, though.
Oh, it's very good to see you too. This is all quite amazing.
I know. I
Well-
didn't expect it would be me. I didn't expect that I would be honored this way.
Yes.
But I am, and I can, and I see. And you know what the best part of it is?
I don't.
I can do anything I please.
Oh,
Nothing can stop me.
I'm just gonna nod.
Would you like to hear something even stranger?
Yes.
Come.
I move close to him. Not too close. He's a king or a god. I don't want to impose, but
I wanted to. I could walk through the wall,
I'm gonna look at the wall.
and none could stop me.
That's amazing.
No man can harm me. I can do anything I want.
What do you want to do?
I don't know yet.
Oh, I see.
I never really imagined that this would happen to me. So, everything that I might, but I don't know what.
Yes.
That's part of why I wanted to see you. You're a wise man. You're an educated man.
Oh, you. Thank you very much.
What would a god want?
Well,
Oh, he just put that on you. Oh, good.
traditionally, do you mean?
Delusional god man who may have been the puppet of some kind of eldritch being now wants to know what you think is true.
Well, I'm going to answer him honestly. I think the greatest god, in this case, would be kind.
That's that Jesus fellow they talk about, right?
Like that, yes.
Who says love your neighbor? But you see, what I don't get,
Yes.
and maybe you understand it better than me, is all the people who said love your neighbor or treat everybody like that. They're the ones who shit on us.
Yes,
I don't understand that.
because men, unlike gods, and I kind of gesture towards him, are flawed, very flawed, you see. And if a god was kind, really kind, to the people around him, and I kind of gesture back towards the entrance where, people have been obviously coming and going, then his followers, worshippers, disciples would be devoted and hopefully also kind as well. I'm a great believer in kindness.
Well, that's something to think about. Although it doesn't tell me what I want particularly.
Well, you asked my opinion. I can't tell you
I
what
did.
you want. I hope.
No. That's. I'm okay with that. That's quite good. Besides, it's not really, in that sense, up to me. In the place Azazil, everyone will get what they're supposed to. So I guess in the end, if I was a good man, I will still get all that I should. And if I'm not, then I guess there's nothing to be done about it anyway. In which case I may as well indulge myself if I'm not a good man. I'm not a philosopher. I'm confusing you, no doubt.
A little, but kindness is always a good way to go. Because you could never go wrong with being kind to people.
Well, that's not always true.
Well, you can find out the people, even if you are kind to people who are bad, you can at least understand that they are bad people.
Well, the only bad people I know are, well, I know a lot of them.
I'm sorry.
But the ones who do this, I mean, look around this neighborhood.
Yes,
Look at these people. Look at these walls. I see
do.
through them now.
I look around the walls.
I see through them. I see the whole of it. I see this city. I see the place Azazil. And I see everything all at once. And I see those men who feast like gods while we starve.
Yes, there is a great discrepancy there.
So I do not think that kindness will get us far with those men.
But that will reveal them for who they really are. Some
Mm.
some of these men are not bad men. Some of them are very bad men.
Mm.
But
That
you
makes
see,
sense.
you can see through the walls.
I can see through everything.
Amazing. And you said you know where Azazil is.
The place is
The
in me
place,
and
yes.
without me. And to visit such a place, you would understand better if you saw it. But you have to see it. You have to want it. You have to understand it in your own mind, in your heart, in your. You can't see the way I do yet.
I just shake my head,
Did you?
agreeing with him. No, I don't think I can.
But I think you can. I think what you should. I think the you should. I think you should. I think. I think. I think.
Are
It's
you
hard
all
to
right?
think.
Oh,
It's hard. It's hard to think.
well, I can understand that. So much has happened.
It's too much to see. I can see your bones, Doctor.
Oh, that would be very convenient in my profession. I look at my hands. I'm kind of looking at myself.
And the weave of your coat,
Oh,
and the mechanism of the firelock in your
oh,
belt,
yes.
and the band of your hat, and everything. It all
The hat would be in my hand, by the way.
together with me until everything is the same thing and nothing means any. I'm poorly explaining the matter.
I don't think you are at all. I think you're explaining it very well.
I think I think the angel would explain it better than I. But this poor language of ours, it's all I've got. I can't make this tongue do what it ought to say these things. I can't make this form that was Billy Ludd convey this to you in a way that brain that squirms and moves inside the bone of your skull would process and comprehend in the way that mine is moving outside and inside in my skull. And my eyes hurt.
I'm sorry. I might be able to give you something that might help that.
I doubt that.
Well, I don't know. You said nothing can hurt you? The flintlock, if I shot you, nothing would happen?
I would pass through the bullet just as the wall.
Oh. Remarkable.
I am a god. Do you not believe me?
You know, Billy, I don't know.
Well, then
I'm
shoot.
having
Then shoot.
I don't want to hurt you, Billy.
You can't.
I'm looking at the sister when he's telling
No
me
man
to
can.
shoot her.
She's looking like holy shit.
Yeah, that's what I'm a little worried about here.
Yeah, she's freaked out now. No man can hurt me. Nothing on this world can. No more than you could punch God himself.
I'm sorry,
Could,
that's out of character.
what would you do? Stab
God.
the Almighty with a knife? You would do nothing. I am of that now.
Amazing. You don't sound
The
happy,
angel-
Billy.
I am happy. I am confused. I told you I don't know what I ought to want. What does a god want? If I can have everything and anything, what would that be? I don't know. I don't know.
Has Billy gone completely mad? Is that part of the problem here?
Oh yeah.
Okay. I don't even need to make a psychology to know his brain
God,
is
no,
mush.
he's-
Okay.
Yeah, his if there's a number lower than 0 for the sanity tracker, he's reached it.
have a suggestion that might help me.
Okay.
I'm going to get into my doctor's bag, and I'm going to take out a scalpel. Can you hold out your hand? I'd like to nick it. That will show me that you can't be harmed better than a bullet would. And it won't hurt you if for some reason the bullet is a god bullet. I don't know. I don't know about gods. I don't know that much about gods except the certain things I've been told, and I don't know how much truth is in those.
You want my blood?
No. I merely want to see. We got onto the suggestion of being shot.
At this point, his mother actually will step
Okay, I'm
in and
holding
say,
a
I think that's
scalpel.
enough, doctor.
Oh, very
It's
well.
time to go.
Oh, I'm sorry. No tea? I'm going to put the scalpel back and put everything in order.
Yeah, she really wants you to leave now. When you're holding a sharp object near her son, she wants you to leave now.
I wasn't... Oh, okay. All right. Well, I'm sorry,
I'm not sure she understands, and I'm not sure she cares.
No, I'm sorry, Billy. I suppose my crisis of faith is unresolved. But I thank you for seeing me, and I hope that you're in good health.
And she will basically usher you out rapidly. And
Okay.
he's like,
goodbye.
And there's you back on the street.
Right, before she leaves me, I would like to ask her... Oh, no, I'm going to slip a couple guineas into her hand.
Okay.
I hope that does not offend, is what I will say as I give her the money. And that's guineas, that's not shillings. That's real solid super cash. Those are like...
Well, look at how many people have been buying him presents.
I know.
Milking this for profit,
That's
too.
fine. I feel she's going to be dead soon. I feel bad for his fucking sister. I do. I feel terrible.
Talk about wrong place, wrong time.
Anyway, yeah. So then I'll leave. I'll greet some of the people that I know in the line. I'll go to the guy that yelled at me, and I will apologize to him.
Okay.
And I will slip him a shilling, unless it's insulting to him. How's he dressed? Is he pretty poor?
Yeah, everyone here is.
Yeah, then I'm going to slip him a shilling and apologize and say, I hope this will make certain that we are not enemies, my good sir. I apologize for any misunderstanding between us.
Okay.
And then burn down the house. I'm going to go to Edgeworth and Illingsworth, and we'll make our way out of the area as I tell them, as much as I can remember of that encounter, that Billy can't be harmed, that he wanted me to shoot him to prove that he couldn't be harmed. But if I had killed Billy right there, I wouldn't have gotten out of that house alive.
Right, man.
Yes. Oh yeah. I tell him that. Yeah, he's insane, but it doesn't mean he's not what he says he is.
It doesn't mean he's not empowered in some way, but I doubt he's literally a god.
No, possibly not, but I don't know if a bullet would hurt him. Any other houses with high windows that we could test this theory out with a bullet from a rifle that might look into his window where he's holding court?
Whoever's going to attempt to do that will need to make a luck roll.
I know I'm not going to be doing the shooting. I'm not a very good shot with a rifle or a pistol. I look at Edgeworth. I'm going to make the suggestion that maybe we can figure out if he's a god or not, and ask Edgeworth how good he is with a rifle, and whether or not he might be willing to test Billy's theory.
Well, I'm not going to shoot a madman in broad daylight.
But you won't be able to see him at night, is my answer to that.
This is true.
Remember, I lost freaking 9 points. I lost 9 points of sanity yesterday. My character's not the most stable of the group at this juncture.
Understandable,
Well,
Absolutely true.
randomly
Okay, well, is either of you looking for a window that could do this?
I'll look. I don't remember what my luck is. I will look for a window. I'll look for a window.
I'll look.
My luck is
luck roll.
57. It's not great.
Okay.
Since Edgeworth won't do it, he's probably the best shot of us. 91. I don't see one.
Yep.
There's not
And
one
I
as
rolled
far
an
as I know.
85. I
No,
didn't see one either.
there's not one that's that high. A third-story window that is like directly
there are.
across the street.
Oh, there are. Gretchen closes a number of those windows. The problem is every one you see appears to be occupied.
All right.
So unless you want to take a shot from a window where someone is watching you and sitting in the same room, which is a problem.
He asked me to shoot him, and I just couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. Because I wanted to live.
How could a man do that with his mother and sister right there?
His mother was making tea at the time. She didn't come in until I pulled out the scalpel a few minutes. Or she came in, and then I pulled the scalpel out.
Or then, regardless, or with the
I wanted to just
sister
cut
right
him.
there.
If I could cut him, that means he could be killed. That might have helped his delusions. Probably not. He's insane.
One more little thing that might be worth talking about, because we're getting to a point where it might be good to wrap up for tonight.
Yeah.
Are you actually pulling up the newspapers and seeing if you can do what Reverend Brown was doing?
Yeah, I was going to mention that to Edgeworth and suggest it.
We should try that.
Billy also claims he knows where Azazil is, but I couldn't get a straight answer on where it was.
Yep.
There's nothing. Yeah, it seems like they're still looking for the location.
Azazil.
The Azazil.
Yep. Yes. Yeah, I would have told him all this shit. We'd had plenty of time walking in the street for me to be like, this is what the preacher's doing, blah, 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 blah. No, I did mention that briefly, and I go into more details as we're heading back to the house, or heading wherever the hell. We're just wandering at this point, I feel like.
Yep.
Well,
let's do it.
There have been more ruins that there might be more ruins in the city than we're aware of. Perhaps there's a second temple.
All right, let's grab all the newspapers at my house. My character is voracious in his reading of newspapers and collecting news.
Yep.
So we can do it there. Do I have a map of London? A street map of London? Yeah. Pull it out. Can all three of us work together on this and give each other ideas and try to see if we can triangulate?
Oh, yeah. And based on the sightings, if you wanted a center point, just let's use a center point for the moment.
Yeah.
Of the sightings.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking
it would
of.
Probably be St. James Park.
Where the hell is... I'm looking for a map right now for myself.
St. James is in the south end of Westminster. And the downside of St. James, from your perspective, is... you know what's immediately west of St. James Park?
Limehouse?
Nope. Buckingham Palace.
Oh. That's a pretty nice neighborhood. St. James is a nice park. The Queen.
Who does Reverend Brown hate more than anyone?
Rich people.
And
who's the richest person? The king.
The king.
George IV? Is that who's king right now? The regent?
George the Third.
Oh, George III, but there's a regent in charge because
George the Third is essentially mad.
He's gone mad. Okay.
Have we stumbled upon a conspiracy to murder the king?
I would call it less a conspiracy and more a happy accident.
Yeah, I think it's kind of like just coincidental that
if he can make as St. James Park into his Azazil, that also means he can fuck with those in power.
Oh, goody.
So he's looking for the spot for Azazil. What does he want to do once he finds it? We don't know that.
We do not know, and I think we'll find that out next time.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's 10 minutes to 11.
Yeah.
And that seems like an excellent stopping point for tonight.
Good God.
Absolutely. Oh, excellent game as always, John.
Right, so...
Yeah. Well, let's figure out when we will resume. What the actual hell?
Not next Wednesday, but the Wednesday after would be the 2nd of April.
That's my birthday.
Oh, is it?
Happy eventual birthday.
So hopefully I'll get some bonus dice a couple times.
Okay, well do we want to meet that night then?
I'm not doing anything. I don't have a social life. I have zero social life. I don't do things.
Okay, so let's put that on the calendar for 8 o'clock then.
All right.
2 weeks. So 2 weeks time.
Sounds good.
April 2nd.
And I'm going to end up
It's
the
on the
stream.
calendar.
If there's anybody... Oh, somebody is watching. Ooh. Yay, thank you for being there.
Hi.
So, bye, everybody.
Thank you for
We're
watching.
going bye.
Bye, person.